With your bad self. Let's go. Hey, let's go. What's up, Brian?
What's good, Kelvin? How you doing? I just thought I'd let you go ahead and get it in, man. You feeling good? You looking good? Look good, feel good? Hopefully the boys play good.
Ain't no hope in this thing, man. Rattler's going to do what we do. Have you noticed the season that we've been having in the fall with all our sports?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we rolling.
Oh, yeah. We haven't lost to HBCU yet.
Really? Okay. I'm going to take your word on it. I didn't really give it that much thought, but I mean, that's great analysis. That's what you come to the ONG Strike Zone for, that kind of great analysis.
Well, I'm just saying we undefeated in volleyball, right?
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
Undefeated in volleyball. Have not
we
lost
undefeated in football.
Yeah, you're right. Haven't lost an HBCU in football.
We got the SWAT championships coming up in cross country.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just saying.
Okay. All right. Well, hello. Welcome to the ONG Strike Zone right here on the Black College Sports Network. Brian Fulford, Kelvin Rozier, soon to be joined by Marcus Green, and a host of Florida A&M athletic coaches, who I'll tell you about in just a moment, as well as, of course, it is none other than the game of the year, the week that we have been waiting for, #JSU Hate Week, #Beat JSU. We coming, however whatever little meme or whatever you want to put out, it's time. It's time, ladies and gentlemen. It's time. It's time to invade Jackson, Mississippi. It's time to go back and just, again, game of the year coming up Saturday, October 19th, October 19th, Jackson, Mississippi. 2 top 5 BCSN ranked teams, 2 top 25 FCS ranked teams. Game will be featured on ESPNU. It's what we thought it would be, Kelvin, and we're finally here. Both teams coming off a bye. It's perfectly set up for both teams to hopefully play at their best. One side better than the other, the good guys, and then we'll take it from there. So looking forward to this matchup. I want to thank everybody for coming in and watching us, however and wherever you're watching us. YouTube, Facebook, Jericho Broadcast Network's page. Hit the thumbs up or the like button wherever you are. If you're watching us on Instagram Live, you might be watching us on X. We say hello and salute to you as well. That reminds me, I need to retweeted it from our ONG Strike Zone page. Got to make sure I do that as well from our own personal page as well. But we got a lot to get into. Coming up here in hour one very shortly, we're going to talk to our new softball coach. Excited to have on Coach Brittany Beall, making her debut into the ONG Strike Zone. Really excited to have Coach Beall on staff. Already making strides. Fall ball's happening right now, so we'll get a chance to talk with her. Then coming up at the bottom of hour one of our championship coaches, Coach Garfield Ellenwood, will be coming on, the head track coach, director of track and cross country, as the cross country championships are coming up. In another week or two?
Yeah,
another week or two. So it'll be an opportunity, and we're hosting. Tallahassee's hosting, so we get a chance to repeat, and so we're looking forward to that. And then somewhere late first hour, early second hour, another championship coach, Coach Mike Rice, Coach Preston Mike Rice will be coming in and joining us. So looking forward to talking to our national championship winning coach. We'll talk.
There it is.
There it is. Got to make sure.
There it is.
Got to put
That's
respect on his name. Put respect on his name. And then obviously, then we get in hour two. We're going to talk heavy about this JSU FAMU game, and we always like to do. We always like to invite in folks from our opponent. So we got a couple of good guests: Doc Holliday, HBCU Overdrive, and Charles Bishop of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Both of those two gentlemen will be coming in, and we're going to get the JSU side. So before I do that, I'm gonna say it now because it's the only time I'm gonna say it. You know, I would hope that in our chats, especially on our Jericho Broadcast Network chat, that we learn how to have fun, but we don't get ridiculous. You know, we know Rattler Nation, they're gonna come stick their head in, and because this is a welcoming space, the Jericho Broadcast Network's YouTube page. And yes, this is a show for us Rattlers. But as Dr. Lori reminds me, we're not taking no mess. So if Doc blocks you, don't come crying to me later that I got blocked by Dr. Lori. Nah, look, that means you came in talking ill of somebody. So have some good smack talk, have fun, but don't get ridiculous. Did I say that? Did I set that up properly there, Kelvin?
Absolutely.
Okay. So yes. So with all that said, enjoy. I don't have time to go through all the shout outs. I see that the family that's in there. I'm just gonna roll through names quickly as I see them. I see Jimmy Mack, first one in there. I see Bull in the building. Of course, Dr. Lori's in there moderating. I see Kat Ashton Harris, Melissa Wilson checking in, Meredith coming in, Marcus J.Y., Reggie Delane also, B. Starks coming in as well, Lil Baby, Demetra, Mary 305, Mr. Campbell, Steve Campbell, James Bush, Gail Hinton, Chuck Hunt checking in from Monroe, Louisiana. Good to see you, Chuck. My guy, Tony Mathers, Ezekiel Love checking in. Tamara T, Sweet checking in. Good to see you. JT, EA, Strikeadocious, that's a new one. Okay, but welcome. Good to see you. Let me see. Who else? There's probably some other folks that I might be missing, but hello to all of you. It's good to have you in. Thank you to our JBN subscribers, like Mary 305, Tamara T, Marcus JY, and the others. We appreciate you. We appreciate you for coming in. All right. Kelvin, you ready? You ready to get going?
Let's go.
You got your shoes tied up and you're ready? You ready? We got a loaded show.
You see them double rattlers there.
I got double rattlers.
I got them double rattlers tonight.
Watch out. Watch out. And we say hello to everybody on Instagram Live as well. Come on, joining us. My JBN Online is that's where the fun chats are happening, right? My JBN Online on YouTube. That's where the fun chats are. All right. So our first coach that we're going to introduce to you comes to Florida A&M after spending 16 seasons coaching a championship softball program right here in Central Florida, in my backyard at Eustis High School. A graduate 4-year letter winner from Auburn. Been a Florida High School Athletic Association champion, as well as a Coach of the Year. And it's great that we continue to have championship winning caliber coaches that want to be at FAMU and that FAMU will embrace. And I know FAMU will embrace. So with that said, let's welcome on to the show for the first time, Coach Brittany Beall. Coach Beall, welcome to the ONG. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Coach, we're doing well. We're doing well. We're glad to have you on. Glad to finally get you in the ONG. Why don't we start by just kind of talking a little bit about what it's been like over the last month since you made the decision, and maybe take us a little bit into the thought process of the opportunity to jump from where you built a one of the most successful programs in Central Florida over at Eustis to now coming up into the college level at Florida A&M?
It's been a marathon, as I could say. I've been very blessed to be put in this position to not only lead FAMU, but also I have 21 girls that I have in this short amount of time learned their names, and I feel like God has put me here for a reason. And throughout my career, I think God was very intentional with the way that He wanted me to be in this position. So I am very thankful, very blessed, and I'm ready to represent FAMU the best that I can possibly do.
So share with us a little bit about the timeline. I mean, I'm sure it had to be tough and challenging all at the same time. Share with us a little bit about that process, if you don't mind.
It was long, for sure, but I think in the beginning I got a phone call from a friend that said, "Hey, I think you would be a great fit for Florida A&M," and so I said, "Okay." So I kind of, did my research, and I put together my resume, sent it in, and then I got kind of in the middle, not in the middle, but there were, obviously, we know administration changes from, the former AD. And then obviously we know that period of time where Michael Smith was the intern AD. So it was a very big trust in the process. And like I said, since I've been here, everybody has been so helpful. I can't think. I mean, from the top to the bottom, the transition has been very smooth, and I've never met so many more people in my life since I stepped on the FAMU campus. I mean, I just, hey, you need anything? You need anything? So, like I said, the transition has been beautiful.
Wonderful. Good to hear. Go ahead, Kelvin.
Welcome, Coach. And I was wondering, did you have a previous relationship with Coach, our previous coach? And I know we had a player or two that from your program that play for us and have played for us. So what is your familiarity with the program you're inheriting?
So Coach Patterson, I know all the way back from Coach Wiggins. So when I played, Coach Wiggins and my dad kind of had a softball relationship, of course. So I've known Coach Wiggins for a very long time. And then I sent in 2000, and I want to say probably 15, I think Tyra Bowers was the first girl from my program to kind of step foot on Florida A&M. And then I had also Soraya Brookenborough and a few other girls that I coach even in travel ball that played for Florida A&M. So knowing Coach P, I also knew Coach Orr. So I was kind of heavily stayed up with the program. And so seeing, the progress over the last few years, I felt like I was kind of had a hand in it. And then I also have I keep saying Soraya. I also have Sierra Maple that is also a freshman now here.
Okay. And I know it's been early, but how did you work? Let me ask this question this way. So we have games already, fall ball.
Yes.
So how did how did that come together so quickly? And what was your thoughts on
the fall ball schedule was already made.
Okay.
So fall and spring are already kind of made. They do that obviously probably at the end of May. So those are already kind of set. So when I got here Tuesday, we were practicing Wednesday. And then we had our first fall ball game last Friday against TSC. So I had to hit the ground running. I had time to get a printer set up, a laptop. I had to hit the ground running. So I had to go to 5:45 a.m. workouts and then straight to practice because we practice after workouts. So like I said, when I say I hit the ground running, it's been a marathon.
All right. And at first glance, what do you think about the team you're inheriting?
Strong, very strong. And like I said, this last 2 weeks, and just being honest, have been about trying to build a relationship with them. And I told them, I said, it's not about, the outcome right now, but I want to know you for who you are. I said, now is a kind of a blank canvas. So this is a fresh set of new eyes. So now you get to kind of go in positions that maybe you didn't get an opportunity at last time. And now I get to see you in this opportunity now. So it's been very intentional and delicate, because again, I want to make sure that the girls understand that I'm here for them, that I'm 10 toes down, and they have been responding very well. So I couldn't be thankful for a better group of young ladies than I do have now.
Brian, let me get 2 more in, then I'll let you have it. Right. So
Have away. Go ahead.
So I kind of I want to know about you filling out your staff. I know you've got at least a grad assistant, but talk about that process, and then my second follow-up question is talk about how you plan on scheduling for the spring.
So remember, the schedule was already done. So we did have to change a few things within the schedule. I'll go back to the coaches, but we did have to change a few things in the schedule. Florida actually reached out and said, "Hey, we want you guys to come down and play." I was like, "Wow, what a great experience." So we're going to go and play Florida on that tournament. I think it's Sanford and Troy, and then us in Florida. Florida State, the head coach of Florida State actually texted me today, said, "Hey, coach, welcome. If you need anything, we're here for you." So just seeing the support around the coaching, world has been amazing. I had coaches reach out left and right, just congratulating me. And then when it goes back to the coaching staff, today was the very first day that our pitching coach started. So we have been very strategic. And today was our first day on practice with the girls. And then also, obviously, Nia Morgan, she's been great. Coming in, I didn't know everything. I didn't know everybody. And she has been a really, really big help of learning the trainers and the equipment manager and just the little things that I think that people don't realize. She has been very helpful in those areas. So I'm looking probably to fill one more spot with the volunteer assistant just to kind of give us some depth. But so far, like I said, I think right now we got a solid foundation when it comes to coaching staff. So I'm very happy with that.
I'm sorry, I lied, Brian.
I keep crossing off questions. That's great. I'm glad you're getting them in, because questions that I have, I keep crossing them off. But go ahead. I love it. Keep going.
I am really interested in the style of play, offensively. Are we slap ballers? Are we, just line up and hit it where they pitch it? What's your philosophy?
So right now I've been talking to the girls about being just learning the softball IQ, and learning the small things, when to pull back, when to press, when to not to press, when to steal, not to steal. So I've been very, very, I guess you say, trying to break that part down, because I feel like everything else can kind of fall afterwards. See ball, hit ball. I had one girl kind of get a little frustrated. We did live pitching today, and she got a little frustrated. And I said, "Listen, keep things simple. See ball, hit ball." Sometimes, I know as a former collegiate athlete, we can make things very difficult mentally for us. But at the same time, we have to understand we're here for a reason. We got here for a reason. So let's just keep things simple. So just trying to find out. And of course, I was a speedster. I like speed. We do have, we have 4 slappers that can put the ball on the ground. We got a girl from JUCO, Lexley Spooner. She can drive the ball. She probably hit about 5 out yesterday. So like I said, we got a good balance and a good range of athletes. So where we can play the small ball, we can do the line drives, and then we also can hit the long ball. But pitching, I think, will probably be definitely our strength. We also picked up a JUCO, Amari Brown. She'll throw a lot. Lauren Peppers is doing a great job. Obviously, we know we got Zoe. And then we also have Kayla. So like I said, on the mound looks great. The mound looks really good. Infield looks great. We also got a freshman shortstop. And like I said, but the depth of the infield, I can put 2 to every position, and they can do it well. So just seeing that combination and seeing how it's all going to work together, y'all, we gonna shock y'all. Well, we ain't gonna shock y'all. I already knew that we were here. But
No shocking, Coach. We know you got a squad. We know you just gonna come in and cook up, put your own recipe and your style and flavor to it, Coach. We know that.
A little bit of sauce.
Yeah, a little bit of sauce. Let me go ahead and welcome in third member of our team, Marcus Green. Marcus, good to have you on. Say hello to Coach Beall.
Good evening, Coach Beall.
Hi,
Thank you for coming in. I'm doing just wonderful. How are you?
Good.
Marcus, before I go to you,
Mhm.
and you missed Kelvin with his 10 consecutive questions. So, that's like a pitcher coming in, throwing straight gas, throwing strikes, right after pitch after pitch. Coach, I was gonna I'm trying to remember, and I got to think about what I had left in the tank. I wanted you to kind of talk a little bit about, and you mentioned this roster size, but I wanted you to kind of maybe speak on what you saw from this team previously from last season. Obviously, they won the East Division, went to the championship game last year in just our third season in the SWAC. When you watch and you kind of scout and evaluate this team, can you talk a little bit about what you saw, what you hope to improve upon? And then you mentioned 21 players. I think I heard you say, are you looking to add? Is there room to still add players, or we kind of have the roster that we have when we go into the spring?
So obviously, in the process of me, kind of applying and just kind of doing my research, I went all the way back. I went to the SWAC championship game. I watched it online just to kind of see, what were some of the missing things. And then I realized, that was a lot playing the same team 6 times. And then on top of that, playing them, in the conference tournament, that was a lot. And I mean, we've all played sports at some time. It's hard to beat somebody 9 times. It's hard to beat somebody 6 times. So again, looking at that and seeing how we can kind of break that down. And like I said, I think with the depth that we have now on the mound for sure, and the depth that we have at the plate and on defense, I think that we're going to be able to be a little bit more, I guess you say, versatile, and the way that we set up our lineup, that is going to benefit us in the longer run.
Okay. Marcus, I'm going to let you get in there and get a question in.
Thank you.
And don't be afraid, even though it may have been asked by Kelvin. Coach will let you know.
He asked like 15 questions.
Okay.
Go ahead, Marcus.
Once again, good evening, Coach Beall. I guess I wanted to ask, what's your philosophy on recruiting and team building, just based on, I guess, within the last couple of years, all the seismic changes in college sports, and as it relates to how you see the team roster now and how you're going to build in the future. You're going to rely heavily on transfers. You're going to have a good mix between JUCO transfers, potential Division I or any other collegiate transfers, and high school students, especially coming from the high school ranks.
I think right now, just really seeing obviously what we have coming out, leaving next year. I know we lose a pitcher, we lose a catcher, a first baseman. So just kind of being strategic about what moves we make. And I think it's been fun so far, because we had an unofficial visit this past week. And then we got some girls coming in this weekend. We got some girls coming in next weekend. So I think for the advantage that we kind of had on this era is now we've seen these girls play multiple games, not just at a tournament once, but we've seen these girls play day in and day out. So we know, hey, she may have had a bad game, but no, she's a great player. So just seeing how that kind of plays into the atmosphere of what type of environment we're trying to have at FAMU. I think looking at, the portal coming up, and seeing, pitching and catching, I mean, those are your number one spots when it comes to softball. You got to have the pitching, you got to have the catching. So just looking and breaking down those things will determine whether we need to go in the portal, whether we need to go in, just coming straight out of high school. So I think, again, having the advantage of being able to see that on the back burner, I think is to our benefit.
Okay. And follow up to that, as a new coach coming in, or at least new to FAMU coming in, and I guess this goes across all sports, but I guess I want to ask specifically for softball, if there are any offers made or any even interest shown to recruits by the previous coaching staff, is that retained? Is there some kind of, how does that actually work? Or is it just you wiping the slate clean?
To my knowledge, I haven't had someone come to me and say, hey, I was offered, such and such. I think it's kind of where a coach has to kind of build a relationship. And I think that's across the board. if a coach has built a relationship with a student athlete over a year or 2 years, typically 9 times out of 10, that relationship is going to stand. I mean, that's pretty much known. But again, you have some students that really want to go to whatever institution that they want to go to, and they don't care who it is because they want to go to the school. So, seeing this on the backside of things and getting emails and, all these messages and, people really showing interest despite, the coaching change, I think has been a good eye opener, and to understand that people were just kind of just waiting for somebody in that position so that they can throw their information to. So there's a lot of student athletes that want to be a Rattler, and I'm happy to be in this position to make some of those dreams come true.
Okay, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Coach, before I let people know about upcoming matches or upcoming games on this Friday and next Friday, Jens P reminded me that you have a camp scheduled at the end of this month. So I want to give you a chance to kind of talk about the upcoming camp, and and I'll let people know then about the game on Friday as well as next Fridays.
Yeah, so we're partnering up with Minority Softball Prospects, and I don't know if you guys have caught up with them, but a great platform for minority softball. They just had a All-American game at Montgomery, and then I think November 9th, they're going to go to Duke University. So they're going to have 27s and under play in All-American games at Duke. Great platform. I got hooked up with them probably about a year ago, and we did the games at UCF. So great platform. They've been doing it in baseball for a long time, and now they're kind of transitioning it over to softball. So we're going to have a camp, obviously before the game against Southern, but it's going to be from 9 to 1. And we just want girls to come out, whoever shows interest. We're going to do a skills test where we do home to first, do some defensive work and obviously some offensive work. But I think it'll be a great opportunity for our locals and girls in the southeastern state to be able to show what they got.
Right.
Was there a part two? I forgot.
No. You covered it. You covered it. Hit it out the park. I was just going to let people know this Friday, 5:00, right there at Veronica Wiggins Field.
No, we changed it. We changed it to 4, actually.
Okay, thank you. So 4:00.
Yes.
4:00 Friday is a game against Tallahassee State College, right at Veronica Wiggins Field. And then on Sunday, you're taking a trip to Mariana, taking on Chipola College. And then next Friday, a doubleheader with at home. So those of you who are coming in town for the Southern game, get there early because you can get over to Veronica Wiggins Field, catch softball. So we got a 5:00 game against Tuskegee, and then a 7:00 against Thomas University. Thomas right up there in Thomasville, Georgia, coming down. So great opportunity. And that should conclude fall ball, right?
Yes. Yeah, we're going to also have family day to get some of our close friends and family. We're also going to cook. We're going to barbecue. We're going to do all that kind of stuff after the game on Friday. And like I said, it's going to be a whole weekend of softball and football and FAMU. So we're excited.
Awesome. All right. Coach, how can Rattler Nation support you? That's always a big thing. We want to know what do we need to do? Where do we need to go? I don't know if the list of things. I know when you made an appearance on the 220 Club, you were still kind of evaluating what you needed. So now that a couple of weeks have passed, if you know what you need, is that been put out there? Let us know how Rattler Nation can support you in the program.
Yeah, so we have been doing the 187 strikes. We have the link for our individual players. They've been fundraising $1,000 within this month. But shout out to all the alumni from the 220, and then also our FAMU softball alumni that came through with some of the requests that I had super fast and early. So we're very appreciative of that. We've been putting the list together. The list is very long, but we got it. But we've been strategic about who we give that list to. So again, we want to make sure that we can get all the things that we have on the list. But like I said, everybody's been super supportive. And the 220 and our softball FAMU alumni have pitched in and came in immediately with those specific things that we need so far. So we're very thankful for that.
Well, Coach, I will say, I love all of the support that I see pouring in. I've been trying to put them up on the screen, so even if you didn't catch them,
I saw you.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of friends, a lot of former, maybe even some former players, other coaches, a lot of parents. I mean, there's a lot of love for you right now, a lot of excitement. We're just happy that we can continue building because the groundwork has been laid. Yes. And we know we have a championship program, and we're excited to see what you do with this team. Any last words you want to share with Rattler Nation? And hopefully, I know we will get a chance to talk later in the spring. But any words you want to share with Rattler Nation?
You guys better come to the game in the spring. That's all I got to say. Come to the game.
That's right.
Come out. Like I said, we have 21 great girls. They're great in the classroom, just great overall young women. And to see them go on that field day in, day out and work hard for FAMU is very breathtaking.
Well, we love this team. We especially friend of the program, Nia Morgan. She's our Iron Woman. I mean, that's what we call her because I think she went 2 years ago is when she caught every pitch from behind the plate, which is like. I'm not a softball guru. I've become a fan recently, probably a bigger fan, but that's like unheard of from what I've been told. So she's our Iron Woman. And so we're glad that she's still around and that she's there to help you and help this program out. And we're super excited seeing what you guys are going to do. So again, ladies and gentlemen, give out your Twitter handles, Coach, so people can find you and shout you out.
Look, what is my Twitter handle? Hold on. I just pressed Twitter.
Let me see if I can find it.
Oh,
I started following Coach when we got when Miss Maple made her verbal commit.
Yes, it's Beall 0628.
All right, Beall
0628. Yes, that's my wedding day. So 0628.
Okay, all right, there it is. Okay. All right, Coach Beall, thank you again for your time tonight. Don't forget, head out Friday, 4:00. Veronica Wiggins Field. If you're not going to make it this Friday, you got next Friday. Catch the doubleheader before the Southern game.
And come get some barbecue. My brother's cooking barbecue, so come get it.
Oh man,
Coach, you don't know what you just did.
You know what you just said.
Come get it. We'll save you. I'll save you a slab.
All right.
A slab. Just a play. All right, Coach. There it is. It's done. Get on the bus. I'm going to have to take Friday off and get up there from Orlando. I'm there. All right, Coach, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Good luck. Be well, and we'll talk again soon.
All right, have a great evening. Bye-bye.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Brittany Beall, first interview in the O&G Strike Zone. Can't wait to talk to Coach some more. Let's take a short break because our championship coach, Coach G, is coming up here. We're going to catch up on what's going on with our cross-country. And I've seen the pictures. I've seen the track team out there practicing and doing what they do. So we're excited. So we're going to talk to Coach G coming up here in a moment. You're watching the O&G Strike Zone right here on the Black College Sports Network. We'll be back in just a moment.
If you think all pads are exactly the same, think again. This is Always Ultra Thins reinvented with the Always Triple Protection System. This pad wicks gushes 90% faster, absorbs even more so you can feel dry, and locks odors in. Rethink your pad for up to 100% leak-free and odor-free comfort with the totally reinvented Always Ultra Thins. This is always like never before.
The Cuvée Group is a Florida-based marketing and training consulting firm. We help businesses communicate to their target audience and engage them in conversation. We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a certified constant contact specialist, my colleagues and I are also certified in John Maxwell Leadership Principles. We use these proven principles to conduct workshops, training, and private coaching sessions for individuals and companies looking to take things to the next level. Contact us to schedule a free consultation. Issues today, don't delay, call Cuvée.
Nope.
Come on, him?
Ooh, I like him.
the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up messes quicker, and each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less.
He's an 8.
He's a 9.
Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
This is Brian Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
Greetings, I'm Kiana Watson.
Hi, I'm Zoriana Hughes.
Greetings, I'm Nia Morgan, and for all things FAMU Athletics, check out the Orange and Green StrikeZone
on Wednesdays at the Black College Sports Network.
Go Rattlers!
All right. Well, we transitioned from the softball diamond to the court. Uh-oh, Coach, you're not hearing us. Let me make sure Coach can hear us. We got, let's see, check 1, 2, Coach. Let me get a mic check. All right, maybe Coach has got to log back in and out. Not sure, but coming up here in a second. Let me see. We got you, Coach. All right, try to log out and try logging back in, Coach. Hopefully you can hear me.
No, he can't hear you.
He can't hear me. Okay,
I'll text him.
Okay, there you go. Coming up in just a second, Coach Garfield, Ellenwood. We're going to talk about cross country and track here in a second. So appreciate everybody. Great comments in the chat. Appreciate it. Appreciate you, Melissa. Thank you for checking it out. Indeed, Jimmy Mack, FAMU softball is in good hands. Definitely. Yeah, you got to get there for the barbecue. You know, it's woo. I'm excited. I'm gonna have to figure out how quickly can I get from Orlando to Tallahassee on Friday. I know I get out of school early, but I'm gonna have to find a way to maybe sneak out by noon or something. I don't know. All right.
These kids hanging.
Yeah, hey, look, they'll be all right. It's Friday. They didn't check that on me anyway on Friday. So.
Hey, you can't say this, but they ain't worth. Hey, I take a slab over them any day.
You're right. I can't say that. I'm glad you said that. All right, here we go. Let's see if we got Coach. Coach G.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Like I was able to hear y'all before the commercial, and then all of a sudden it just went out. I could see you, but couldn't hear you.
That's all right, Coach. Welcome back on the ONG Strike Zone. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Garfield Ellenwood joining us, championship coach of our cross-country and track and field programs. Coach, how's it been? How you been doing?
All is well. All is well. We just got back to training, and classes are going well, and we're looking forward to Monday.
All right. Why don't you give us sort of an update for people who may not be familiar. The cross-country season isn't particularly long, and obviously with the storms that have come through Florida/Tallahassee, it's sort of impacted the schedule. So with the SWAC championships coming up pretty soon, let us know what this fall season has been like.
It's been a roller coaster, actually, with training. We've only had 2 competitions. We missed 2. But all in all, the young ladies there, they stayed focused. They kept pressing forward. Coach K came up with a plan to make sure that they're prepared. And ultimately, at the end of the day, we all have to deal with ups and downs. And when it's time to perform, it's time to perform.
Go ahead, Kelvin.
Coach, so where is the team currently heading into the SWAC championships? I saw where at least a couple of your runners that ran a personal best at their last meet. But, what do you think the team is in terms of being able to defend their championship?
I think we're right where we need to be. I mean, they're working hard. Ultimately, it's about them controlling what they can control. The conference is tough. You have, of course, Alabama State. You have Alabama A&M. You have Prairie View, Texas Southern, and it can be anybody's day, any given day. So all we're going to do is focus on what we can control, and that's us. I'm proud of the way they performed this past Friday. Like I said, they're moving in the right direction, but you got to show up on that day.
Okay. What teams are going to probably be our biggest competitors?
Most definitely Alabama State. I mean, they've been the top of this conference for years, and you can't never underestimate them. They have a good coach. They have a good group of young ladies. But it's just like I said, at the end of the day, Rattlers gonna do what Rattlers need to do.
That's right. Okay, good deal.
Go ahead, Marcus.
Well, good evening, Coach. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
My question, I guess, kind of a twofold question. The first part, you mentioned that there were 2 meets that were otherwise canceled or unable to participate due to the weather. Do you think going into the meat of the season and into the SWAC championship that will allow the team to be fresher, or will it be a detriment in that not having had as many competitions in order to build the stamina and get at their peak?
I think honestly, it's about the training. As long as they're training and they're mentally prepared, that's what it's about. The competitions do give you an opportunity to get your feet wet, to move a little bit. But again, Coach K has devised a plan. She really went back, did what she needed to do to make sure that they're prepared. So, no, at the end of the day, we know what we need to do. We're not going to make any excuses. It's get it done, period.
Okay. And that may be the answer to my next follow-up question, but I don't know, perhaps not in your mind and maybe some of FAMU's mind, but I would perceive, or at least I perceived, that it was somewhat of an upset last year when you came out on top in the cross-country championships. Do you feel like there's been a different approach by the team as defending champions, and maybe a different approach by the other SWAC teams, knowing that you are the defending champion?
Oh yeah, very definitely. When you're on top, everyone's coming for you. You're the hunted. We were hunting, and now we're the hunted. But I talked to them as well as Coach K talked to them about. We just have to do what we have to do. We have to keep the same mindset that we're trying to eat, and as long as you keep that mindset, you'll be fine.
Okay. Well, thank you, Coach.
Coach, I'd like for you to talk a little bit about your staff. You mentioned Coach K, and for people who don't know, you're talking Coach Tamika Kinchin, who you talked a lot about her and the impact she had on the track season, as well as cross country. But I'd like, and I know you got, I believe, at least one new coach this season. So I'd like for you to take a minute and talk about Coach K, and then some of the other parts of your staff and how they work together in building this championship program that you're building.
Okay, well, we have a dynamic. We all play a key role. I always say, at the end of the day, I'm the spoon that stirs the coffee, but you have to have your cream, your sugar, things of that nature. And Coach K is of course, the female on the staff. So she, always, the women have someone they can come to when they want to talk about hair and other things that they can't talk to me about. We have Coach
Not stylist, huh, Coach? Not stylist.
Nah, that's not my thing. We have Coach Detweiler. He's they call him the uncle of the program. Coach Detweiler's from Tallahassee, worked over at Ricker's. Daughter graduated from Lincoln, so everyone knows him. So then we have Coach Brandon. He actually came in. He was a senior when I first got in, Brandon Love, and he wanted to get into coaching, and he's really moved into a role like right underneath me, picking up, understanding what I'm looking for, things of that nature. It's great to have someone that can relate to the athletes, be a buffer between us, but really wants to be a coach on the next level, and he's absorbing everything I'm trying to give him. But not only just myself, he pays attention to everyone else. Then we have Coach Coach Steve Thomas just came in. Coach Steve Thomas and I worked together at Mississippi State, and it was just a blessing that the Lord brought him and his wife here, and he was available. I mean, we would sit and talk track and field for hours at Mississippi State. So it was just a smooth, easy transition. He knows what he's doing. He's had multiple Olympians, multiple NCAA champions in the jumps. And you want to have people that are as good as you or better than you in their areas. That's what makes a program. That's what makes us go. I'll be the first one to say I don't know everything. I'm always trying to learn, and just our conversations, you pick up something that you did. I think that man's forgotten more in track than he knows. That's
serious knowledge, definitely.
And we have a graduate assistant. Her name is Sydney Blackburn. She came over from Albany State again. Just a blessing for her to be admitted to FAMU, and then reached out. Coach Taylor, I actually knew Coach Taylor. He reached out, said she was looking for a graduate assistant. Before Tiffany had left, she had got that in the works, and everything filled out the staffs. I had just lost my pro coach because he went back to Puerto Rico to compete, because he's still competing. So he got a chance to be with the national team coach, and you have to take that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
So things just fell into place. I can honestly say these last two people have been godsends.
Nice. Go ahead, Kelvin.
So, Coach, kind of give us a rundown on how the rest of the team is doing. And I guess that's a good question for me, because I don't know this answer. During the fall, what do the winners participants do? Are they training or weightlifting, or what's the routine?
Almost definitely. We train. We had a team gathering fellowship Labor Day, and Monday and Tuesday we started practice. And we've been practicing since then. Things are going well. It was a little culture shock. I made some changes. I went back to my old self, and I'm liking what I'm seeing. I didn't like losing by 10.33 points, and I make sure that's not gonna happen.
All right.
So where are you with your scholarships on the men's side? I know we were still kind of building that up. How's that going?
It's going pretty good. I think we're in a good place. I think we're in a real good place. Just get these guys to finish the semester strong and get them to the line, and let the rest speak for itself.
I love it. I love it. I got it.
Go ahead, Marcus. Oh, you're on mute, Marcus.
You're on mute.
Coach, I noticed on social media over the summer that there are a couple of folks who had made verbal commitments to FAMU. Has everybody showed up?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Everyone's here, and everyone's working hard.
Okay. Would you care to elaborate?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, they're here. We working. we working. We put one foot in front of the other one. We hit these weights. And I'm looking forward to December 6th, and then coming back from the Christmas break, putting a couple more pieces into the puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we'll be right where we need to be. My goal is to make you guys proud.
Hey, Marcus, didn't you hear Coach how he answered my question? He said, hey, just make sure they finish up strong, so we can get them to the line, and the results will speak for themselves. I heard Coach. Hey, Coach, a question from the chat. How is the FAMU relays? How's that looking?
Yeah, yes. I'm sorry. March 22nd, 2025, FAMU relays will be back. We're going to run an abbreviated version. We're going to have 10 events. Want to get the alumni out. It's going to be in conjunction with Beall Day.
Okay.
Of course, getting the athletes together Friday over and up at the Will Packer for some felt with baseball, softball. Everyone's going to do it like they used to do it.
Yes.
So that's definitely the plan. We have some commitments already from some college teams, some high school teams. I'll open up to the high school a little bit and just try and get it going again. The main thing is I wanted to put on I wanted to really get back to the alumni. Everyone's been looking for it. The community's been looking for it. So that's this first year is just about getting it going again and letting everyone come out and enjoy, and then we can kind of build from there. Ultimately, hopefully we can get the facility where it needs to be so we can really load things up. You got to have a good facility to get some fast times for people to really come. So that's the
Yeah, definitely, Coach. Love that announcement. A lot of folks in the chat's already excited, having flashbacks. When they folks having flashbacks all of a sudden. Oh, spring carnival. Oh, I remember those days.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, peeping out Sampson Hall window. Ooh-wee.
Yeah, it's a good time.
We plan on having vendors over there and everything. Vendors right there by Sampson.
Shout out. Yeah, good time to live near the track. Boy, I tell you what. Another question from the chat. Kenya asks, how are locker room facilities? So how does that work for the track athletes, Coach? Where you guys house that set up?
We have a men's and women's locker room in Gaither. We're in the process of getting signage done in both the men's and women's locker rooms. Hopefully we can do it up like golf did. They got an amazing facility that looks beautiful, and hopefully we can get something like that. That's where we're at. Angela's working hard, trying to make some things happen for us. So hopefully, again, we'll give her something to be proud of.
Well, just in case, folks, you didn't know, Monday, October 21st, the SWAC Championships being held in Appalachia Regional Park, site of where FAMU won last year. An amazing, caught people by surprise, but people won't be surprised this year. So it'll be interesting. You know, Coach is not going to give away too much of the strategy, so I'm not even going to ask. I know better. We're just going to sit back and watch it, and then we'll talk to Coach afterwards, just like we did last year. But Coach, any thoughts or any words you want to share with Rattler Nation? I know I heard Vaughn in the last 220 Club talking about getting folks out, but I want to give you the last word and kind of pump that up a little bit.
Oh, yes. Anyone that's available Monday, 10 a.m., Appalachia Park, please come support. We need it. We're looking forward to it. We want to represent Rattler Nation proudly. I want to give, like you said, Devon, a shout out to the 220 Club. They have been amazing, the support. They just really looked out for us for some equipment we were trying to get for track and field. I'm ecstatic, and I truly, truly thank them. They're going to be there. They already told me they got some vans, buses. It's Hatfield. I think it's Hatfield.
Hadley.
She pulled me aside. At the volleyball game. She said, you better do something because we coming out there to support y'all. She pretty much put me on notice. So
somebody must be bringing. Vaughn must be bringing coffee and bagels. I don't know what Vaughn must be bringing coffee and bagels and donuts or something.
Yeah, something. She was not playing. I went to them that next practice. Like, y'all better handle y'all business because I ain't been having her going.
Hey, all you gotta do is go back and watch Coach Cozy after that Alabama State game. Coach told Angela, "Hey, it's a little bit warm in here today." It's that 220 Club. They love our student athletes and they support our programs. But you better believe they have expectations of winning now.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Yeah. We appreciate it. I mean, at the end of the day, you got to be held yourself accountable. But we're not just representing ourselves; we're representing this university and the people that support it. Now I got a question for you guys.
Yes,
Kelvin, where I can get that shirt? Brian, where can I get that shirt?
Go ahead, Kelvin. You first.
I gotta remember the vendor, man. I'm gonna have to. I'll text it to you, Coach. I gotta remember the vendor. But yeah.
Okay.
I think the vendor's like Divine 9 or something. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Coach, the Save the SWAC shirt. I thought that was a limited run, but I'm gonna reach out. I know Earl might be in the chat. Earl's watching. So Earl Hankerson. Earl, I need you to post in the chat where if the Save the SWAC shirts are still being sold, so I can make sure we get one to Coach G. So I'm gonna find out, Coach. I'm gonna find out. You hit me with the hard questions, and so yeah, we gonna get something back to you. I saw somebody ask, so I want to repeat again. Monday, Appalachia Regional Park is where the SWAC championship meet will be Monday. And you said 10 o'clock. So is that when that's when the women's meet starts at 10, correct?
10 o'clock. That's when the gun gonna go off. So get there about 9:45 and walk right on up to that fence and get you a good spot.
All right. So I know it starts at 8, and 8 must be the men. 8 a.m. must be the men. Okay. Mm-hmm. So plan to get there a little bit early and then be ready to cheer on the Rattlers 10 o'clock as we get going. So all right. Coach, anything we left out? Anything that we didn't mention?
No.
Okay.
No, again, you're looking forward to everybody coming Monday as well as March 22nd, 2025 to the FAMU Relays. And let's get the streak going again.
Yes, indeed. March 22nd, right?
Yep. Saturday, March 22nd. Mm-hmm.
All right. Somebody write that down. Make sure we put that in the chat. Save the date. Yeah.
And as soon as you win Monday, let's get back and start raising funds for those rings.
Amen. Amen to that.
I could. Hey, we got a plan for it. You got to speak it.
Plan. Yeah.
Speak it into existence.
All right. Well, I
want to give condolences. Ms. Doris Hicks. She actually, Polk County Association, paid their portion for our rings, indoor championship rings, and she passed. Yep. And her funeral is going to be on Monday. So condolences to her family, and we appreciate the support.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for sharing that, Coach. Good luck to you and the team. And we look forward to you guys celebrating another championship on Monday, sometime around noon or sometime.
Hey, 10:20.
They run fast. 10:20. They run fast, Brian.
I'm sorry. My bad. Yes, 10:20. 10:20. All right. So make sure, and it will be streamed on the SWAC digital network. So if you are out of town and you can't watch, you can follow along all the results. They do a great job. That was really fun to watch last year, and the scores and everything is right there on the graphic. So really great job by the SWAC. So SWAC digital network tomorrow, Monday. The meet starts at 10. Be there early. Cheer on the Rattlers. Good luck, Coach. Thank you for your time, and good luck, good health, and let's run it back.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Coach.
All right. Good night.
All right, Coach Garfield, Ellenwood, Coach G. Let's take our next break. Come out with Coach Preston, Mike Rice. Kind of catch up on what's happening with golf right on the other side of this break. You are watching the ONG Strike Zone right here on the Black College Sports Network. We'll be back in just a moment.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
Supermarket sushi, really?
No. Wait, Troy, you work here?
I'm never not working. Like Head & Shoulders Scalp Shield technology, up to 100% dandruff protection, even between washes.
Never not working, huh?
Oh, Troy, you're such a good teacher.
Yeah, I know. Never not working. Never not working. Never, ever not working.
Are you serious?
Never not working. Dandruff protection that's never not working. Head & Shoulders Scalp Shield technology.
Hey, grab me one too. Charmin Ultra Soft has so much cushiony softness, it's hard for your family to remember they can use less.
Sweet pillows of softness.
This is soft. Holy Charmin. Oh, excuse me. Roll it back, everybody. Sorry.
Charmin Ultra Soft is so cushiony soft, you'll want more. But it's so absorbent, you can use less. So it's always worth it.
Now, what did we learn about using less?
You gotta roll it back, everybody.
We all go. Why not enjoy the go with Charmin?
Welcome back to the ONG Strike Zone right here on the Black College Sports Network. Joining us, we got another championship coach. We just keep rolling them in. This is the kind of show you see. There's a theme, something about champions. There's something about winning. We nothing but winning. That understand the theme and where we're going on today's show. Welcome in, Coach Mike Rice. Coach Rice, how you doing?
I'm wonderful. How y'all?
What's up, Coach?
Doing great.
Doing well. Coach, last time we talked to you, you guys were breaking in the new digs in the golf in the putting room and
Yes,
everything.
Mm-hmm.
The season, the fall part of the season is underway. Kind of give us an update on just the results. And I know the weather has obviously played havoc with the schedule, as it has with every sport.
Mm-hmm.
But start with a little bit about the roster. This is a newer team compared to last year's national championship team, and then just the early part of the season.
Right, like you said, it's a new year. You know, I don't like to say we're rebuilding, but reloading. We got 5 new freshmen in town. We brought in a transfer from Alabama State, who's been a huge leader of the team so far, which has been nice. We needed to make sure that we brought in somebody with a little experience, especially with these freshmen coming in. But we've had 2 freshmen already, or really 3, step up already in the first 3 events that had played well. I'm excited about the future. I can say that. It's really hard. We had 5 graduate. That's hard to bring in to emulate what they've done the last few years. But and like you said, the weather's been awful. We've been in North Carolina 3 times and once completely rained out, and another one we lost a round from the rain. So it's been crazy, but I'm really excited about the future of the program for sure.
All right, go ahead, Kelvin.
So, Coach, your schedule, because of the weather, has been impacted. Is there any opportunity to, during the season, during the fall or the spring, do you try to make anything up, or you kind of just roll with what you got?
We kind of roll with what we have. I mean, the schedule is set. It's hard for one, with the way schedules are made to add new tournaments to the schedule. I will say this, we were invited to a tournament, which has really been nice because the NC State tournament was completely washed from the rain. Eastside Golf, which is a black golf-owned apparel company, is doing a tournament out in Texas at Frisco. And what's really nice about it is they're covering the whole cost of it. The plane fare, the hotel, the food, everything is covered through them. We've added that to the schedule, which was kind of nice. That was just something that came up that we just couldn't say no to. It's going to be a great experience for our guys. It's actually going to be at the PGA of America's site as well, which is an amazing facility. So that was kind of weird to have that happen. That's not something that we planned, but being that it was, and it was an opportunity to showcase our guys, we're going to do that. But when we do get rainouts, you just kind of roll with it. Fortunately, our schedule is pretty full that we're allowed to do that we don't need to do, to have makeups for dates that are washed.
Coach, what did you think about the tournaments that you did compete in? What was your impression of your team? I know in one tournament in particular, there was a lot of teams there, including teams that have a lot of support, and we did pretty damn good against them.
We did. The first event, Howard's event, which is the first time we've traveled up to DC, and quite frank, the last few years it's been Howard and FAMU as as the HBCU golf teams to watch. You know, quite frankly, to go up there and beat them on their home course was a good thing. It gave our guys a lot of positive thoughts from it. You know, they're kind of in the same situation we are. They graduated a lot of kids. They're trying to figure out, you know, who those 5 are going to be. And we're really going through the same thing. Quite frank, we were really disappointed in the last event. The SAS championship we've won the last 2 years, and to not win it was not a good feeling. But honestly, I think it's a good thing. It keeps our guys hungry that we didn't win it. So I'm excited to see we get on the road next week. I'm excited to see what that's going to look like, because I can tell you these guys are out there grinding and working their butt off. So I honestly think it was a good thing to not win it. I know that sounds bad, but I think it's going to motivate them moving forward.
Okay. All right.
Marcus, go ahead there, Marcus.
Good evening, Coach. I guess one question I have, if you were to evaluate this team's strengths versus the team last year, where would you say the strengths lie?
That's a great question. I think the biggest thing in what we're seeing right now, I think this team is deeper than last year. That doesn't mean better, but deeper. You know, it's hard when you got that many seniors. That experience is so hard to replace. I mean, that's really where we're at right now. What we're seeing on the golf course, we got a couple guys that really look good, but really look bad at times as well. And that's just that experience and that youth. And so to say that, the thing that I see right now, and I said this, I was even talking to one of our former guys that just graduated today. I can't say the team's better, because that would be obviously we had a national championship team that was here last year, but the depth at the bottom is way bigger. We have 3 or 4 guys that are really competing at that 5 spot, whereas last year we probably had 2. So we kind of knew where we were going last year. We're still trying to figure that out this year. We've had in 3 tournaments, we've had 3 different lineups. That wasn't the case last year. So again, we're trying to figure out. They're going to go out there and fight for it. I don't play favorites. It's who's playing his best. It's who's going to be in the lineup. And we were out there today fighting for it. And we got 4 guys, or really 5 guys fighting for 1 spot, and they're within 1 or 2 shots of each other. So that's a good thing that we have. But it's also going to take a little longer than last year to figure out who's going to be the 5. So again, I'm excited. These 5 freshmen we have are so talented. And to watch them grow in the next 4 years is going to be fun. We got a young guy from Massachusetts, Sasha Robinson, who was a 6'5" kid that you don't see playing golf very often, that has some rare talent that I think is really going to be fun to see in a few years.
Okay. Thank you, Coach.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Coach, for people who aren't familiar with the roster or how you get to those 5, obviously 11 players on the roster if they go to the website. How does that work? Just kind of break that down. How do you get to the 5 that you take to these events?
So, I mean, we brought them in this year because I knew we really needed to see where they're at. And we brought them in a little early and started earlier than normal. But we do qualifying, so they go out and they play for it. And at the beginning of the year, it's the top 5 are going to travel. As we continue to go in tournaments, one of the things I like to do is as guys are playing, it's tough to leave some of your better players home, whether they're playing good or bad. So I'll make, like this last tournament we played in, 4 guys were exempt from qualifying. They played well enough in the tournament to not have to qualify. But we got guys back home who were working their butt off that deserve a chance to get back in that lineup. So right now we have 5 right now competing for one spot to travel for the next 2 tournaments. But it's really, we want the best 5 that are playing, and golf is a weird sport. Sometimes you're playing well, sometimes you're not. And that being the case, we want the guys that are playing the best. So I really believe in competition makes you better. So I'm gonna throw them out there every chance we get to make sure that they're competing and ready. So when they go on they get on the road, they're ready to go, and we got the best 5 that are playing at that time.
All right. Let me hit a few questions up in the chat that some folks have. I'm gonna go with the most recent one here from Kenya. Kenya asked about the young team and how does that kind of color the recruiting methodology right now when you got 5 freshmen and just a young squad. I guess by just doing the math, you got about 7 that are only either freshmen to redshirt freshmen or sophomores, 7 or 8.
Correct. It's a young team. And that's why I said that the future is bright. I mean, it really is. I mean, we got some guys in there that are even as freshmen are doing some special things that we haven't seen at that age. You know, I mean, it's made recruiting tough. You know, right now we're still waiting to hear what this rule is going to be on these roster reductions, which really make it tough to recruit. Because right now I got 11. If they reduce golf to 9, I got 2 that I got to get to move on, and that's unfortunate. So, as far as recruiting goes, right now I'm kind of at a standstill, to be honest with you. Obviously, I'm still evaluating because I'm hoping that rule doesn't affect us like it does the Power Fives. That's what we're waiting to hear. And if it doesn't, obviously we're going to go out and get more kids. So I'm still looking, but I'm still at a kind of at a standstill because we have all 11 coming back. We have nobody graduating. We have 1 senior on there that we think should get a medical as he was hurt last year, to where we're bringing all 11 back. So we're, you know, next year we're going to be even more experienced, and the following year even more experienced. So again, I'm excited about the future of FAMU golf.
All right. Now let me, Jeremiah Clark asked if you could talk, just remind people again about the tournament in Frisco and the name of that apparel company that you mentioned a little bit earlier in case somebody missed it or didn't catch it.
Absolutely. Great question. So Eastside Golf is a Black-owned golf apparel company that really, I mean, they teamed up with Jordan. So that'll tell you how big they've gotten over the last few years. The guy that, and I believe it's 2 or 3 guys, they all graduated from Morehouse. They played golf at Morehouse. And it gotten big. I mean, they're in PGA Tour events. Their apparel's out there. I mean, and I'm telling you, man, it's some good stuff. One of my guys today hit me up saying, hey, you know, and he just graduated. He's playing overseas. Said, hey, you know, maybe you can get me in connection with them. I would love to wear their stuff over there. But it's Eastside Golf. They're Morehouse graduates. I love what they're doing. You know, they're trying to give back by putting on this big tournament. It's going to be showcased. Good Morning America is supposed to be there, which is going to be great with Michael Strahan to get a chance to showcase our guys. So, again, Eastside Golf, please do go out, check them out, support them. They got some really good stuff out there.
Yeah, eastsidegolf.com in case anybody is interested in the apparel site. I just punched up the webpage, so eastsidegolf.com.
Yeah.
So definitely check them out.
And they do have those Jordan shoes that are pretty cool, by the way. Jordan
I see that. I see that.
Yeah.
Little baby asked, Coach, what are you needing? What do we need to kind of keep the program successful? I think little baby wants another pendant, Coach.
Look, the same. I mean, it's money, right? I mean, that's what gets it done. I see your pendant. It's nice, isn't it?
Love it, Coach. Love it. Beautiful.
I got to give a shout out. Bryan Hagens is the one that did these rings that are unbelievable. What he did with these things. I mean, something special, something you'll see nowhere else. I mean, when you pull it off, if I can get it off, you got a little thing that's actually TPC Sawgrass, one of the most famous par 3 golf holes in the world. Is on there as well, which is pretty cool. But he did an amazing job. But I mean, it's the same. I think and I say this, and I've been saying it for a while. Our biggest need, we need to get a vehicle. I mean, we need something to travel in comfortably for our guys. One of the things I've tried to do this year to make it a little more comfortable, because you know, a 10-12 hour drive North Carolina. But you know, quite frank, I try to make the best schedule for our guys. I don't care where it's at. That's going to challenge them to get better. And so we've had long rides to North Carolina. One of the things I said is I don't mind driving there, but the drive back is tough. I mean, we play until 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon and then jump on, and I'm the one driving back. So what we've done is kind of drive there and fly back, which has been nice for our guys. It makes it way more comfortable for them. They're not wore out, but a Sprinter van would go far, I'm telling you. And that's our biggest need. I think that's some of our smaller sports' biggest needs, in my opinion, that could darn sure be helpful. I do got to say, all y'all know Mr. Mitchell, our booster guy. One of the things he's done that has been huge for us is he's reached out to alumni across. When we show up in the town, he reaches out to make sure that the guys have snacks and water and all that kind of stuff. And we've had a chance to meet some alumni in Raleigh and even in DC that came out to support the team and made sure that those guys were, fueled up, ready to go. So that's been huge for us, and we're going to continue to use that. But the biggest transportation, keeping these guys comfortable so they're not getting off, they're getting off ready to go.
So Kelvin, I don't know if you heard that. It sounded like what Coach is saying is we need our Rattler, our family that has connections with automobile dealerships. Yes. We need y'all to come through. That's what we need. So I'm gonna say it. If that's what it sounded like, Kelvin, we whether it be anyone in the 850, or even if it's outside the 850, what are the nearest area codes? Wherever you're at, South Georgia, even doesn't matter. If you know somebody, call somebody. Call Coach Rice. Call the athletic department. We got to figure that out. Great sponsorship opportunity. The team, the company that drives champions to matches. Look, I'm giving you the slogan and everything already. We drive champions. Come on, look, it's golf too.
I love it.
Oh man, look, that's free. That's free. Just it's free advertising.
Amen.
Pitches right there. Last thing here for you, Coach, my guy. Yeah. I know we always ask you, Coach, what's going on with those Rattler golf polos, Coach. Every time you come on, we get you with this.
You do it. Look, again, it goes to budgets, right? If we could buy them, then we could get them to y'all. But unfortunately, that budget doesn't allow. But anything for the guys, really. So people ask me all the time. We literally have 12 of these. That's what we have. We have 11 for the guys and myself. That's it. And I know people are always saying golf always has the best stuff. Of course we do. We're golf, right? That's why.
Man,
Hey, Coach, I don't know who I'm gonna do a little legwork. I don't know who we have to talk to, but I mean, we got a bookstore. We got to get some kind of fan shop, going so we can so you can generate some of that revenue for your program. So no absolutely, because I would tell you, those polos are fly. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. I have one in every color.
You mean you already have one in every color? Is that what you just said? Is that what you said, Kelvin?
I said I will. No. Coach told you he only got 12.
Look, you know what? We started, and I love the golf logo with the Venom, and I'm not gonna take it. I am gonna take it from him. So the golf logo, so everybody knows the Venom that showed up, and now you see it with football and basketball. The year that we won MEAC, we were playing in regionals, and we were playing in a group with LSU, and LSU had the tiger swinging the golf club. And I said, I know I've seen the Venom character. And we had somebody working here. I came to him, I said, hey, can you put a golf club in his hand? He said, absolutely. What I meant was, can you make him swing a golf club? Because that's why we say, yeah. But he said, I can't do that. So he started this, and it caught on. And now everybody wants it. Basketball, football, everybody's put it in their hand. But that's where it came from, just so everybody knows. It actually came from regionals.
See, I'm telling you.
Put it on a hat too, Coach. Put it on a hat.
Yeah, I put it on everything. We have it on our golf balls. I just love the Venom character. I think it's the best character we got.
Agreed.
All right, we're gonna keep working. We're gonna keep working. Every time we see you, Coach, we're gonna ask. Eventually, I can't wait for the day when Coach sees me and he comes to me and says, "Hey, Brian, guess what? I got some great news for you." And I'm gonna know the minute he says that, I'm gonna say, "Oh, Coach, what we got polos we can sell?" I know that's what it's gonna be.
Brian, eventually, I'm gonna give you my shirt. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna give you my shirt. That way I know you got one.
Oh man, you don't have to give me the shirt off your back. I'd rather buy one. I appreciate you though. I appreciate you.
Of course.
All right, Coach. I want to give you the chance. Any last words or anything you want to remind Rattler Nation about before we wrap up with you?
Yeah, again, like I said, we're going to be reaching out to cities that we're at from alumni and boosters to, definitely come out, get a chance to meet these young guys because we got some great kids. I can tell you, we got some good kids with some rare talent that I would love for our alumni to see. Obviously keep supporting because we can't continue to do what we do at a high level without alumni and booster support. That's just what, and y'all know I'm an alumni and a booster as well. I give my donation every month, and I pay for my boosters every year. So I'm gonna continue to do it because I know that's how we reach our student athletes. But again, continue to do it so that we can support them.
All right. Well said. Well said. All right, Coach. Hey, again, thank you for your time. Thank you for all you do to help our program and just to support. And I'm glad to hear that Rattler Nation, wherever they are, is supporting. And we're going to keep supporting and keep pushing. And, anytime you got something you need to let Rattler Nation know about, you got a spot, you got a spot to come let us know. All right.
Absolutely. Thank you for all that y'all do. Keep doing what you do.
Thank you, sir.
Coach.
Yes, sir.
All right. Be well, Coach. We'll see you soon.
Yep.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Preston Mike.
Hey, Brian.
Yes.
I know we're getting ready to take a break and go into this next segment. So I got to do it now. Timing is everything. So we went from championship coach to championship coach to championship coach. Now we're going to bring on JSU people. I'm just saying, I'm getting started early.
You're getting started early, boy, I tell you. With that said, let's get ready to take the break. It's time to get ready to get into talking about the game of the year as the Rattlers are traveling to Jackson, Mississippi to take on Jackson State. Game of the year, 3:30 Saturday, FAMU Jackson State. Coming up on the other side, Doc Holliday of HBCU Overdrive, Charles Bishop of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab coming in, and we're gonna find out just how strong this Jackson State team is, and maybe find some things that we didn't think about, we don't know about this Jackson State. Should be a great game. I'm expecting a great game on Saturday, and so we're looking forward to talking to these two guys about it. Hang in there, get your questions, get your popcorn. It's about to get fun in here. You're watching the O&G Strike Zone right here on the Black College Sports Network. We'll be back in just a moment.
Hey, grab me one too.
Brian Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
Choice Hotels is a family of brands that helps you get the most for your money so you can be any traveler you want to be.
You could be a free hot breakfast hero at a comfort hotel.
Yes!
That's how you waffle.
Mr. This script got a plot twist at a Radisson hotel. A business big leaguer. Go for key.
Even the ultimate pool float inflator.
With 22 brands and the best value for your money, Choice Hotels has a stay for any you. Book direct at choicehotels.com, where travels come true. Gotta get the
We're going to Florida, and we're going to bring you back a victory to Jackson.
What'd you say now, Chuck? Man, you a plumb fool, man.
There's no truth.
Hey, y'all.
No truth.
Hey, y'all.
There's no truth to the rumors that our Chuck that we're bringing on was who was being referenced there. No, welcome on to the program. To say friends of the program. Two great guys that it's a pleasure to have with us now. Charles Bishop of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Doc Holliday of HBCU Overdrive. Gentlemen, how are you doing this evening?
How are you doing, guys?
What's going on?
Doing all right.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
I think the last time I was on here.
Oh, Lord, here we go.
The score was 59-3, but I digress. Go for it, fellas. Let's go.
Really? It's been that long? I don't even remember that game anymore.
I figured.
I don't even remember that game. Just looking for anyone who didn't know, obviously the first time these two teams met back in 1961, FAMU won 14-9. The last time these two teams met, obviously, FAMU won 28-10 last year. So that's all I need to know about the series history right there. Everything else in between, is whatever. I just need to know.
No. You can't get away from like no.
Right over that, huh?
You skip right over that. No.
Oh boy.
Let's be honest and truthful. What is the series record right now?
All right.
I think we're up 12.
Series record 8-12-1, 8-12-1. All right, but
hey, y'all got one problem. See, we didn't play y'all regularly, right? So now y'all got to see us every year.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
Hey, we asked for it.
We might not be that school that's in shock and awe of the aura.
That's right. That's right.
The orange and green. Right. So.
That's right.
All right. So as we get into this matchup, right here we go. ESPNU, two top 25 teams. Game of the year as predicted at the beginning of the year, and it's kind of played itself out. Let's just kind of get into. Let's start with just the atmosphere and the build up to this matchup before we get into talking about the particulars on the field. So, Charles, I'll start with you and then I'll go to you, Doc. What kind of excites you about the build up leading into this game and kind of where we're at right now?
The fact that both of these schools are ranked in the top 25 in the nation, I think that jumps out for you. Obviously, the history of both schools in terms of the pros that they've churned out, the fan bases of both schools. I mean, both schools really carry a swagger and an aura about themselves, and they're not going to back down. And I think the uniqueness of both fan bases is they don't really cede that love to the Power 5 conferences, if you will. If you're a Jackson State fan, you're not so much an Ole Miss or a Mississippi State fan. You love Jackson State, and that's one of the things that I've always been impressed with regards to FAMU. They love FAMU.
How about you, Doc?
I guess since my freshman year in '97, just going, my first game going to Jackson State game going and seeing all the people that was in the stands, it was, I was in amazement and, it stuck with me. So, but to hear about the lineage of our program and both programs to be exact, is second to none. And so basically, with the way this game is building up, it's building up like a heavyweight fight. Like the way it started off in the off season, of course, with coaches leaving, getting coaches coming in, players leaving, players coming in, and then just culminating all the way up to for Saturday. I mean, what else can you say?
You really are getting an Ollie Frazier sort of build up to it.
Right. It's like, Thriller in Manila, Rumble in the Jungle, that type of feel right there. And so for all FAMU folks that have never been to the vet, trust me, with the way we speak of it, it is what it is. It is as advertised.
Speaking of the vet, I had another thought, but since you mentioned the vet, give us some thoughts on just that atmosphere. I mean, it's the only HBCU stadium that looks or that holds that 50,000. And when we see on big, when we see Power 5 and those other conferences, and we see the 50, 60,000, this is the only HBCU program that has that type of stadium that can hold that. What's it like when it's rocking? We're hoping to silence it, but you've seen it when it's been its loudest. What is that like? I'll start with you, Doc, and then go to you, Bishop.
So I mean, I'm gonna go back and recall back to my freshman year. We played Southern in Jackson, and when I'm saying, and Charles can attest to this, it was packed from one end of the corner of the vet to the other side corner of the vet. Like at the time, it was like 60,000, 62,000 people in there, and it was loud. We made it try to make it a hostile environment. But just to come up in there and to say, well, this is, some people can say, well, this is a field that Walter Payton ran on, but, he ran in another stadium. But like other greats like, Sean Gregory, my guy, Big Country, Dexter Wright, Mark Washington, all those guys right there, to Robert Kent, Superman, White Tiger, Casey Terrio, and so forth and so on. It is an atmosphere to see. And when you get 50 to 60,000 black folks in one stadium, and coming, just to have some fun and watch a football game, you can't beat that. You cannot.
Agreed.
Yeah. What do you got, Bishop?
Well, I think to expound on that, Jackson State football in the city of Jackson is an event. Okay, it is an event culture, and that carries over into the stadium. But people plan their fall activities around Jackson State football. I grew up in it. I was on the road following Jackson State. And on a Saturday night in Jackson, there's really no place you'd rather be. And when that place gets to rocking and the boom is going, it can be like none other. And I give a lot of credit to the game day event staff now. The way that they've incorporated the DJ, the boom, the pyrotechnics, and I take my hat off to the student body. I mean, it all comes together, and it comes together in this sort of perfect gumbo that really is has given Jackson State a true 12th man sort of feel.
What do you got, Kelvin? Go ahead.
Well, I'm gonna start off with Doc first, and then go to Charles. And I just want you all to talk that handicap Jackson State's football season thus far. What do you see? What do you like? What are some opportunities to get better at? Doc?
So things that I like is basically our trench play on both offensive line and defensive line. We have if you really think about it, you have one of the biggest offensive lines in the SWAC. Defensive line has gotten better going into a new scheme with our defense coordinator, Terenzo Quinn. Some things I didn't like, as far as basically with the quarterback shuffle, I think a lot of people had, kind of had an issue with that because we wanted to see go with Jacobian from beginning of the season all the way up until now. But, it's always going to be a trial and error when you do stuff like that. But at the same time, when you think about it, within that trial and error, we are 4-2. I mean, we are sitting 2-0 in the SWAC. Now, if you take away the one game that we played at the beginning of the year against Louisiana Monroe, I mean, it's a whole different story. I do like the play calling, what TC is doing as far as offensive wise, to be on top 5 in the SWAC offensively, scoring and yards, and basically gaining yards and touchdowns. Basically, it's a good sign for things to come. And the other thing I did like too is our special teams. Our special teams were horrible last year. Like we couldn't tackle a brick if we wanted to, but we got a special teams coach in Javancy Jones, who's also an alum of the school, and picking up arguably, I think, one of the most exciting players in the SWAC, and Travis Terrell as a freshman. So I like what I see. If I was to give ourselves a grade right now, I would go with a B- only because of the simple fact that we had the quarterback shuffle earlier, and now he's sticking with Jacobian Morgan from here on out.
Okay, Charles.
I think to piggyback a little bit on what Doc was saying, I think the trench play has been surprisingly, for me, extremely good. And I go back to the Louisiana Monroe game. Jackson State really they weren't blown off the ball against the FBS team, so that stood out for me. And then once you sort of get into conference play and things of that nature, that's one of the things you can hang your hat on. They're going to move the line of scrimmage. And then the defenses played surprisingly well for me. I mean, when you go from Dennis Thurman, which for me was all-world defensive coordinator, I expected a little bit of slippage. But this is a sound defensive team. The concern, at least for me, of course, is sort of taking your foot off the gas, as we've seen them do at times against Texas Southern, against Alabama A&M last week. That was concerning, but it's a solid team. I give them a solid B. Again, I'm gonna piggyback on Doc what he said about Travis Terrell. He gives that special teams another dimension. And I don't know if you guys remember, but Southern had a guy named Willie Quinn who really gave defenses hell. And you had to always account for him. Travis Terrell sort of gives me that same vibe because you have to account for where he is, whether he's on kickoff, whether he's on punt, whether he's in there on the offense. You have to know where he is at all times.
And when you think about it too, the anomaly as far as with Grambling, the Grambling game, with the 5 turnovers, we shot ourselves in the foot in that game because there's no way that Grambling and I'm be honest with you. There's no way in that Grambling game that we were supposed to be down like that. Also, give away the fact that in the second half of the Alabama A&M game, they went on a 28-7 run to finish it out. But that's when you look at that. It's been like that for the last 3 years with that team. And then when I was looking in the comment, that was like our secondary is weak. I can't say our secondary is weak when you basically are blitzing 60% of the time. So most of your time, your DBs are going to be in man. They're going to be in man coverage. So they just have to set a tone. Basically, they're just out there running sprints. But like I said, styles make fights, and it's going to be a good game on Saturday.
Hey, so basically what they're saying is same thing Coach Simmons said, self-inflicted.
Oh, that was y'all. That was on y'all. That was on y'all. That was on y'all. Ain't nothing self-inflicted over here. That was on y'all. Hey, he said that, and we ran with it. Look,
I couldn't let that. I just couldn't let it go. I'm sorry.
That was memorable.
Yes, it was.
I can't say nothing bad about it, but hey, we ran with it. It was we made it a meme.
Yeah.
Hey, it is what
Hey,
it
it's
is.
good. It was good. It was good stuff, man. Go ahead, Marcus.
I guess my question is, going from year 1 to year 2, what have you guys noticed for Coach Taylor in terms of his improvement?
That's a great question. For me at least, they did a good job in getting more pieces, and I think the offensive line play has gotten much better. I think TC is a play caller I'm pretty familiar with, knowing that when he finds a matchup he likes, he's going to exploit it to the hilt. And those are just subtle things that I've kind of noticed with regards to when he takes his chances. He's one of those guys. He absolutely believes in, the Jimmies and Joes have to go make plays, and he's going to find a way to get the ball into playmakers' hands, as we've seen with an emerging player like Jonas Fertillion, a guy who can stretch the field. So, I mean, it's subtle things that I sort of noticed with regards to just the way he's gone out and gotten some better pieces that I think will help Jackson State obviously play into November and be right there in the thick of things.
The best thing some of the things I see that was good with TC, of course, with the play calling, but picking up an O-line coach and Manny Ramirez from Texas Southern was one of the bigger things that we needed to address. Also, with the departure of Jonathan Bradley from defensive coordinator to go to South Alabama, we just promoted in-house and made Terenzo Quinn the DC. And I tell people, when you get a new DC, it takes at least 2 years for you to learn the lingo, to get all the coverage, the verbiage and everything like that. But the way that he's doing it now in year 1, it's surprising. The other thing I like was when they named Coach O the general manager, because to me, I feel like him and TC know what it is, how they know how it is to build a football team, and they built the football team in the image of Coach Taylor. I'm not going to say the thing about having a W.C. Gordon Field, because I didn't see that at the time, but it looks like to me the way he got the team going is more to his liking, kind of from like in the early 90s when we had Big Daddy Carson as a head coach, and he just making it into his own image right there, and that's what I like. So some other things that I like that he's doing, giving freshmen a chance to play. Not promising them that they're going to play, but if going into practice, you do what you got to do. You out there, you're going to be out there on the field you're going to be on the field to contribute. That's what I like.
I'm gonna follow up on that, because I think one of the things about this TC team, it does have a feel towards back when you looked at WC or Big Daddy, because Jackson State, I always say the DNA of Jackson State football is big offensive linemen and a running game. And you see that, especially with regards to this team. They got some maulers up front, and then you got a hammer like Irv Mulligan back there. And that's something that, reaching back into the day, whether you're talking about Destry or Big Country Johnson or many of those guys, Lewis Tillman and all that group from back then, guys that can hammer it in between the tackles. That's what you sort of see with regards to this football team.
Okay. How's the health of Irv Mulligan? Is he healthy? Is everything? Does he look like he's at peak condition? What's the latest?
I mean, as a fan, I mean, he looks healthy. I don't, know the inner workings of the state secrets of as to whether he's 80 or 90%, but he looks healthy as a fan. So,
I mean, he led the team in rushing the last 3 weeks, so I don't see nothing wrong. He's healthy enough to where he could break out for a 100-yard game, 200-yard game. You just don't know what you get with Irv. All we, in the words of my good friend First Letter, give Mr. Mulligan the damn ball. That's what we say.
All right. Doc, you get a chance to. I hear you on these SWAT calls every week. You do a great job of getting to talk to these coaches. What have you gained or glistened from your talking to Coach Colsey and even Coach Taylor that gives you the confidence that you have that Jackson State will be successful this weekend?
Talking to Coach Colsey, asking him questions and stuff like that. To me, he's no nonsense. First of all, he not with the bull jive, whatever you want to call it. He's not with none of that. He's a non-excuse type person. And basically, whatever type of question that you ask him, he's going to give you a full answer to what he sees deemed as what's going on with his team. So I mean, to me, on the calls, him, Coach Taylor, Coach Hampton, and Coach McDowell are one of my favorite coaches that I love to ask questions to, and of course Coach E-Rob and Coach Maynard too. But when asking Coach Colsey, like, hey, what's going on with your team? Hey, well, why you not running the ball enough? Why do you get out to these slow starts and then pick it back up in the second half? And he basically just breaks it down for me to where some people can understand about the team. And like I said, he's no nonsense. So,
and I'll ask you, CB, is there a coaching mismatch in any way, or whether it be from the coordinator standpoint, maybe even the head coaches? I mean, two relatively young coaches. Coach Taylor, second year, Coach Colsey, first year. But what's your analysis as you look at the coaching from both teams?
It's a push, to be honest with you. I know both of these coaches, no stone will be left unturned in terms of trying to find an edge in this game. It's a fascinating matchup, especially when you take a look at, like you said, they're both young coaches, or TC in his second year, Coach Colsey in his first. But you see sort of week to week, there is a definitive preparation game plan, if you will, that goes into each game. And there's an accountability quotient that you hear in the SWAT calls, like you mentioned. I mean, Coach Colsey will say, we're not running the ball like we want to run the ball right now. In regards to TC, own it up to the Grambling game, and even the Texas Southern game. We heard the fans. Yeah, he made mention of that. So I mean, there's sort of an accountability with both coaches, but I think it's going to be a very well coached game. I'm looking for a close game, and whatever happens in the fourth quarter, that's when it becomes interesting. This is definitely going to be a fourth quarter, last 5 minutes sort of game.
Yeah. Kelvin, Marcus, any final questions or anything you want to run by Dr. Charles?
Absolutely. I want both gentlemen to handicap, or at least give one or two keys to the game that they think is going to be the deciding factor in that game, and it can be for either team or both teams.
Sure. I think the keys for me for Jackson State, if they can get pressure with four. I think Josh Nobles has to have a huge game. You can't let Danny Richardson sit back there and sort of pick you apart. I think Jackson State, if I'm not mistaken, they're second in the conference in sacks. Josh Nobles is second in the conference in sacks. He has to get home because we know Jackson State is going to bring an extra man, and that's going to open up opportunities for FAMU downfield in terms of some one-on-one opportunities. And I think the big thing for Jackson State, the number that I'm really looking at, that I'm really going to pay attention to, it's going to be Jacoby Morgan's pass attempts. If he's somewhere within, 16 to 20, I'm comfortable. All right. Anything above 20, that means the running game is not working. And that's sort of going to be sort of my keys that I'm looking at in this game. The other thing for me, for FAMU, can they create some turnovers? I think that's been, for a team that has, the pedigree that they have, national championship aspirations, they really haven't turned over teams as of yet. So hopefully that doesn't start this weekend.
First and foremost for me is basically to run the ball. That's where it starts at. It starts with that and stops with that. Run the ball. Keep on defense. Stop the run, especially in the red zone where most teams don't really have a chance to get into the end zone as far as running the ball. Make sure that we keep y'all rushing touchdowns to 0 as what y'all have for this season. And basically, like with the defense, like I said, get pressure on the ball, contain Daniel Richardson because he does like to roll out to look for open receivers, whereas passing lanes are open for him because of his height. And basically, special teams, y'all better not kick it to Terrell. I'm just let me.
His number is not number 7, is he? He's not number 7, is he?
No, it's not. His number is 0.
Okay,
y'all better not.
We good.
Better not kick it to Travis Terrell. But if you do kick it to him, you better make sure you lock the house because he gonna make a house call if you kick it to him.
As long as he's not wearing number 7, I think we'll be all right. We got something about that damn number. That number's been killing this year. What were you gonna say, Kelvin? What were you gonna add something?
No, I was agreeing about it. I wouldn't kick it to Terrell either. I don't need to see what he can do. I already seen it on film.
Another thing is I'll be honest with you. So another thing I say about this too is not to make y'all a second half team. Basically, just to whatever mojo y'all got going on for the second half, limit that.
And that is one of the things I do, take a look at with regards to this FAMU team. That second half kick or the adjustments that they've made after the second half. It's impressive for me when you're down and you figure out a way to get the victory. That's championship pedigree there. And that's one of the things, I'm going to be paying attention to. I mean, when it comes down to the fourth quarter, can Jackson State make enough plays?
Right. And then make sure, to make it basically y'all one-dimensional team. Yeah,
that's going to be huge. Mm-hmm.
That's going to be huge because you're at the bottom of the conference when it comes to rushing offense, and even though you pass for like 238 yards a game, only 93 of the yards that you have is from rushing. Make you a one-dimensional team, and we'll be able to beat you.
What do we got, Marcus? What do you got for the gentleman?
Yeah, I have a question I've been wanting to ask. It's kind of sort of football related. What is that with y'all's mascot? Seems like once a year I see him on the field high-fiving somebody or getting a penalty or something. What's going on?
That's the exuberance of the Jackson State pride, and that's field exuberance, field pride. So.
Hey, if you really want to talk about the mascot, man, God rest his soul, Wavy Day.
Yeah.
Sonny just carrying on the spirit of Wavy Day. Now, if you're talking about back in the 90s and the 80s with Wavy Day, he probably would have fought some of your mascots.
He would have.
He would have. He would have squared up with your Rattler. He would have squared up with him.
Wavy Dave was one of a kind. I mean, Wavy Dave, I've seen multiple kerfuffles, if you will, with Wavy Dave. So.
Boy, look at them words, boy. Look at him. He'll throw one out there on you in a minute. I got to look that up. I don't even know how to spell it.
Y'all wide open, man.
All right. Well, let's do this. Let's kind of let's go to that point of we all know which side of the fence all of us are on, but so I'll ask you, Charles, and then ask you, Doc. Jackson State will win this contest if they do what? And then on the other side, FAMU will win this game if they do what? And same question for you, Doc.
All
right. You want me to start here?
Yeah.
Jackson State will win this game if they get the running game going and Jacoby Morgan's pass attempts are no more than 20. I think that bodes well for Jackson State's offense because that means you're keeping FAMU's offense off the field. They've won the time of possession. That's the big thing that I'm looking for, and juxtapose that with FAMU. I think if they get an opportunity to get some one-on-one matchups, against Jackson State secondary, because Jackson State is going to bring an extra man, on certain downs or whatever the case might be. If they win those one-on-one matchups, it could be a long night for Jackson State.
Okay. Doc?
Well, I'm going to go ahead and say it. Run the ball, keys to winning for Jackson State. Run the ball, stop the run. Gap integrity when it comes to defense. Basically, if you're going to play man, cover your man. If you go to the parking lot, you better cover him there too. And basically, as far as defense goes, make FAMU one-dimensional. Now, the way FAMU needs to win, basically what we've seen from early in the season, they got to, you start off fast and you can't let up off the gas. That's the only way I could see FAMU winning the game. Daniel Richardson, his pass attempts probably need to stay between 25 and 30 attempts. I feel like that's the way that y'all win as far as with his attempts being that low. And the defense just got to get pressure. What I don't see from FAMU is they don't bring a lot of pressure from the front four like they used to do, like they were last year, from years ago, where they only had to bring pressure from the front four and everybody could play space. But I think they'll probably have to bring in an extra man on the blitz and stuff like that, especially when it comes to for them to stop the run. And I think that's the keys to FAMU winning.
All right. Charles, I was going to ask you, and I'm only asking Charles because obviously Charles might know this answer a little better. Milton Patterson, and he's a former I guess a 4-year letter winner. Jackson State.
Yeah, former linebacker
coming home. Yeah, coming home. His first year as the DC. First time FAMU's been in the vet in about a decade. What do you recall about Coach Patterson, and what was his personality? And I just wonder, there may be an extra wrinkle. There might be something different that he brings. But just talk about Patterson and your recollection of him and his time at Jackson State.
Yeah, one of those quiet leaders, one of those guys who really flew around all over the place in terms of making plays for Jackson State. And it's very interesting because I'm sort of trying to remember, because as we get into the SWAC championship era, you just kind of have to be honest. Jackson State has a small window where it was better play football. If you're honest about it, that Beall era was the Beall ERROR. It was the Beall era, and then Comedy had that window of time where he did very well. But you take a look at the SWAC championship era, and when you take a look at Jackson State, we define ourselves by the SWAC championships. And Milton Patterson, I believe, was on the 2000. maybe he was on the 2007 SWAC championship team, but up until the past couple years with Coach Bryan, Jackson State had that SWAC championship in 2007. Then they went there in 2012 and 13. So it was sort of slim pickings, and he was one of those players who stood out with regards to being one of those all-conference performers. But that's over the past 20 some odd years. It's been a tough sled. So, but I do remember him making quite a few plays for Jackson State.
Gotcha. All right. Fellas.
Hold on. Before they get out of here. All right. Who you got? And what's the score? Who's winning?
We know who they got. But go ahead,
no, we don't.
Oh, you think one of these two are going to actually go off the cuff?
I just want it on wax.
On wax. All right. Oh my goodness.
You see it. You see it. You see it. Hey man, come on now. You see it. Come on now. Hey, it's DI Love all day, every day. Jackson State 34, FAMU 21. I'm slighting you 2 points from your average that you from your scoring average that you average out for offense. But if I say this, for all the folks that's going to the game from Tallahassee, if you're coming to Jackson, please get there early as possible, because you don't want to be caught in the traffic. Please.
What's early? Is that like 3 hours before kickoff?
You might want to be there 4 hours early.
All right. Good tip. All right, CB, what you got?
Oh, I like to ride in the neutral lane. So, I obviously I got the hat on, I got the sweatshirt on, but nice try, Kelvin.
Hey, I had a super shot.
There you go.
All right. Doc, let people know where they can find because you pop on, you're on quite a few different nights. I know you're definitely there on Saturday nights after all the games, but let people know when they can find HBCU Overdrive.
You can find me, you can probably find me Monday morning on the coach's call, Tuesday afternoon doing my top 10 live. If I have all work permitted, because I do have a real job, y'all. But you can also find me on Saturdays for HBCU Saturday night. And I'm gonna plug this in here too. I do host a sports show with Southern University of New Orleans called Suno Night Live. That comes on live. We do this every other Thursday on HBCU Plus, so you can watch it on there. And like I said, you can just find me anywhere on somebody's platform. We talking football, talking sports and everything. And then also to all my JSU fans, to all my JSU people, Jackson State by 40.
I was waiting on it. I was waiting on somebody to do it. All right, he knew it was coming. He knew that was coming. All right, Charles. Of course, people, if you're familiar, if you're here on the Black College Sports Network, that's where you can find Charles Bishop with Dr. Cavill, whether it be Sunday mornings or on Tuesday or Thursdays. But where else are you, Charles? Are you calling any games this weekend, or what's the plans?
Yeah, I have an off weekend, but yeah, I do call play-by-play for Swag Digital, Texas Southern game. So you can definitely find me on Swag Digital, and you might can find me doing more than football on Swag Digital. But it's been a great opportunity for me in terms of doing play-by-play. I enjoy it very much so. And I get an opportunity to watch everybody around the Swag.
All right. Well, gentlemen, we appreciate you taking some time out this evening.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah.
Hey,
And,
Well, look, we gotta break the streak there. So we're gonna start a new streak with Doc, and we're gonna break the one that you got going.
And gentlemen, I will be there Saturday.
Excellent. I will be looking for you.
Yeah,
so I'm trying to make my way. I'm trying to make my way from Dallas this weekend. So hopefully y'all see me there this Saturday also.
Hey, Kevin, first beverage on me, buddy.
Okay, sounds good.
There we go.
All right,
but Kevin is still JSU by 40.
I got
no matter what.
I expect no less.
No less.
Just watch the show after y'all get off.
No.
All right, Doc Holliday, Charles Bishop, thank you, gentlemen, for coming in. Thank you for your perspective. I would say good luck. Well, I wish you good luck next week, and then you guys but have a good, safe trip getting into Jackson, and hopefully you guys don't leave out with too many tears rolling down your cheeks. So.
No, I'm looking for a victory chalice, after the game.
The only tears that are going to come down my face is tears of enjoyment, where I get to go to the Luke Casey boot store and ask for some rattleskin boots.
Oh my goodness. Gentlemen, have a good evening. Thank you for your time.
Because nobody wants tiger skin boots. Has no value.
Yeah, it has no value. All right,
thank you,
bye,
guys.
gentlemen. Bye.
Thank you.
All
right. There we go. Good stuff. All right. Well, Kelvin, where's your analysis taking you as we think about this game?
So I have had a chance to kind of look at everybody's platform and all the different predictions, and look like almost all of the podcast crew is pretty much going JSU, and they really critique FAMU and FAMU's defending the run specifically. And I think they're missing the boat. And I saw a couple of folks hint at a few things, and I know Coach Campbell did hint at a few things that I'm finna say now. I think everybody's missing the boat on this, right? I look at Jackson State's schedule. Lane College, they blew them out, but D2 Lane College. Then they played the schools from the West, Texas Southern, Grambling, which they lost to by 20, regardless of self-inflicted or not. That's on the record. I can't ignore that. And then I look at who FAMU's played. 2 Division I schools, including number 6, University of Miami. We played South Carolina State, who's the top or one of the top 2 teams in the MEAC. We played Alabama State for homecoming on the road. Team that's predicted to win the SWAC. And then the game after we play them, they talking about how deficient they are offensively. And then the week after they play us, they go play Valley and put 50 up. And then, of course, so the worst, the way I look at it, the worst team we played is Norfolk State, who's competitive. The best team that Jackson State has played at this point, arguably, out of they got the FBS team, of course. So losing, but in Black College is what, maybe A&M. If you flip the 2 teams, and FAMU has their schedule, I don't think it's controversial to say people would say FAMU at worst is 4-1. If they played our schedule, I don't know if folks say they 3-2. So people are talking about the stats, and we averaging 19 points and all this and that, but our degree of difficulty is much higher. We've played a much better teams. As a matter of fact, after this week, we've gonna play the best teams on our schedule. We'll put up stats the last half of the season. We also only have played 1 home game. And then people are very dismissive of playing for 4 quarters. We may not dominate for 4 quarters, but we dominate the fourth quarter. And we do it against all the teams, right? South Carolina stay up 18-7 in the fourth quarter. You know, the Norfolk State game, they jump out 14-0. That's something to be said about championship pedigree. That, you know, Jackson State reminds people all the time, hey, against Grambling, we had 6 turnovers. Well, against Alabama State, we had 4. And we won by double digits. That's what good teams do. Even at their best, they find a way to win, not get beat by 20. So I'm saying all that to say this. I respect Jackson State. I think they got a really strong team. They have the ability to put up points. All that is true. But they ain't played FAMU. They ain't played a team like FAMU yet. So I'll be a believer when I see it against FAMU. But going into this game, people talk about, you know, this defense ain't as good and they can't stop the run and been really harsh on our defense. But I tell you what, Alabama State didn't see 20. South Carolina State didn't see 20 points. Jackson State then gave up 41 to Grambling and 35, 38, whatever it was, to Alabama A&M. For a team that can't stop the run, we sure ain't letting people in the end zone too much. So those are the things that go along with all those stats people are talking about that I look at. So I expect the game to be competitive. People talk a lot about the vet. Well, we FAMU. We play in a lot of hostile environments. We played in front of 33,000 at Alabama State. We played in 50,000 at the University of Miami. We played at about 30-some thousand in front in Troy. I mean, Florida Class, you know, the 20-some thousand in Atlanta. So the vet for us, ain't nobody scared of that. We looking forward to it. It's exciting. All right. So I'll tell you all I know. See, what I can tell you what I know. I know FAMU gonna show up and we're gonna play for 4 quarters. I know when FAMU show up, they expect to win. They think we think we the best team on the field. So the environment ain't gonna be too big. It ain't gonna intimidate us. If Jackson State get off to a good start, I mean, every game there's been one big run that somebody pop on us. That ain't shook us. And I'm gonna give a little nugget here. We've been getting healthy, and we saw 1 or 2 players kind of get introduced in the Alabama State game. And you'll probably see a little bit more of that. You'll probably see 1 or 2 names like, where did this dude come from? The point what I'm saying clearly, Jackson State can do a lot of things, but this is FAMU, baby. And we got some players. We got some players. Y'all think y'all gonna do? Y'all think y'all gonna do to us what y'all did to Alabama? And I heard people talking about, man, it's gonna. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a blowout. Huh? What are they? Okay, all right. I love it. I have no problems. Everybody done went ham on Jackson State gonna do this and what we can't do. The proof is in the pudding, baby. Saturday is coming. That's all I got for now.
Good stuff. What you got, Marcus? What you got?
Oh no!
Follow that up. Marcus.
Yeah, no, follow that.
What in
the world?
Transition to the volleyball. What you got? What you got after that?
If I had a mic, I would drop it.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what? We're going to this game. You know, Kelvin made some great points. Going to this game, you know, I was looking at all the numbers and everything, and it's like, you know, him and Horn. But you made excellent points in terms of the strength of schedule. The fact that over the last few years, this team has shown a resilience that, you know, often, you know, kind of belies logic. Last year, this year. And the fact that we have a veteran quarterback who's played in FBS games, a veteran offensive line, and we pretty much have vets sprinkled across both sides of the ball. So I don't believe that going into Veteran Memorial Stadium is going to shake them or do anything that would otherwise make some other teams nervous, because they've been there and done that. So the proof will be in terms of how well and how soon we can implement our strategy. It's like Coach Colsey has said, it's not about the other team, it's about us, executing and making sure we're playing FAMU football and doing what we need to do. So we need to see that coming from the gate, not wait until the second half adjustments, even though those are great and it's boded well for the first few games. But we need to play football, sound fundamental football from the jump. And I think this is the type of game that'll galvanize that. So all the new players, all that's out the window. You're 4 games in, 5 games in. You're getting adjusted to the scheme and all that stuff. But this is where the rubber hits the road. And this is why they were brought here, to try to make another run at it. So we'll see what we got when the ball gets kicked off. But I believe that Coach Colsey is going to have everybody ready. And like you said, I think there's going to be a couple players that I'm just expecting some kind of surprise. I don't know what. We did get a little taste, and I thought Robert Lockhart, I'm surprised he wasn't starting off the year as the kick returner and saving Gassett for strictly on offense, even though he is a playmaker. I thought he and some other folks would be good additions to speed in the kickoff return game. But seems like we're getting dibble and dabbling, and they're solidifying who they believe they can put out there and make sure we're being competitive at every spot and every down.
Well said. Well said, Marcus. Well said. Well said. All right. Let's go to big bold predictions, score predictions. I don't know where we are on we talked about Alabama State last week.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I won that week.
Mm-hmm. And Brian, can I show this really, really quick? And it's getting it's 10:20. Let me see if I can present real quick. But I just want to let me see, share screen. Share screen. I don't know where sharing. Entire screen. Screen 2. I just share this real quick. I was running some numbers.
Sure. Yeah.
And I was looking at, I was thinking about last year versus this year and a lot of things that folks were talking about. And, I was looking at like our average, a total yard.
Hit the slideshow button. So that way it'll enlarge.
Well, no, this is in Excel. This isn't PowerPoint.
Oh, okay. Will it do a full screen? So I won't do presentation.
I don't know. I've never tried it in Excel. I don't know if it does that. Let's see if I can make it bigger. Make it a little bigger. But basically, these are numbers, the games to date, and our averages from last year. So the black line is our total yards, our yards per game last year, basically 375. And the bar chart represents what we hit this year. So it kind of underlies what Kelvin was saying. You look at Norfolk State and you look at South Carolina State, and the blue line represents our rushing yards total. And we know we're not producing as much as we did last year per game rushing. But you look at Norfolk and look at South Carolina State, we're at or above our average of total yards per game last year. Against the FBS opponents, especially a top 10 ranked Miami, that number is about half. And Troy, about 80%. And last week, slipped back a little bit against the number 5 defense in FCS, but we still won the game. So what this is telling me is, we're competitive at the FCS level. And Alabama State, we had 3 turnovers. We had maybe 200 yards passing, a little bit less rushing, playing against the number 5 total defense. 4 turnovers. So, that was kind of an anomaly, but we still were able to eke it out. And pretty much, due to some of the own miscues on special teams, but also some grittiness, we're able to gut it out. So I just want to do that comparison because early in the season, I was thinking, these 1-point wins, how are we actually doing from a production standpoint? Other thing, let me flip it over. This chart I just started making this week, like the explosive plays. So I was looking and I went back and looked through the game transcripts, and hopefully I didn't miss any, but looked at any plays that are 20 yards or over. And based on Pro Football Focus's definition of an explosive play, and looking at FAMU, we had seven total explosive plays, 5 passing, 2 rushing, and we scored 2 touchdowns off of them. Against South Carolina State, we had 4 passing, no rushing, and 3 on special teams. So we had 3 special teams plays. Look at Miami. We even still had 3 total, but we had 2 for passing and 1 rushing, going for more than 20. And I actually have the stats for the other team as well. No touchdowns, though. Nothing off of there. And same for Troy. We had 6 explosive plays, but none resorted in any touchdowns. And for Alabama State, we had 3 passing and 1 run and 1 explosive play passing. So I wanted to do a comparison, but it just looked too jumbled when I had both FAMU and our opponents up. So we kind of you can see if I could compare them, that when we look at, I'm going to take FAMU out, FAMU rushes, because it'll just be too convoluted. Now we look at our opponents. Norfolk had 3 explosive passes and 2 rushes with only 1 touchdown. South Carolina State had 1 of each, no touchdowns. Miami had 8 explosive plays and only got 1 touchdown out of it, but their explosive plays put them in great field position, and we had our turnovers. Troy, that was the worst performance. They had 6 explosive plays, and 4 of them were touchdowns, and 3 of them were probably by the same dude, the wide receiver, and that 40-yard run by one of their running backs. So that was an anomaly there. And against Alabama State, we gave up 2 explosive rushes, the 67-yard one and another one over 20 yards, and 1 explosive pass play. I think it was like a 52-yarder when they changed quarterbacks, but no touchdowns. So we've shown against FCS competition, we've given up some explosive plays. I wouldn't say any more than average, but have only given up 1 explosive play touchdown across those 3 games. So I just wanted to do some analysis on it. And I guess in those, we've had the advantage in the FCS games where we've had explosive plays outnumbering them, but also explosive play touchdowns.
Great stuff. And just to add a little more to what Marcus was showing, I went back and looked at 23 stats, and from an offensive standpoint, total yards, we're right now only 30 yards different in terms of our offense. Defensively, we're giving up about 100 yards more, a little bit over 100 yards more thus far.
Mm-hmm.
However, what I would say is that it is a little bit construed for this reason. When you look at last year's stats, our out-of-conference games was a non-NCAA school, a Division II school, and then the South Florida game, right? We had a much easier or weaker schedule, so we were able to make those numbers look a lot better. This year's schedule is a lot tougher. It's significantly different. So stats are good. What I want to challenge my other analysts to do, though, is go dig into the stats a little bit and put some context on those stats. That's all I'm trying to. That's all Marcus was doing with his, and that's all I'm saying with what I was saying. There's some context to stats, right? And so I think people are missing the boat. I also add, I think, in terms of what's important for this game, Brian, something to look at that I think will determine the outcome of this game. This is for both teams. 3rd down conversion percentage. whoever does a better job of converting thirds down, keeping they keeping their offense on the field, keeping the other team's defense on the field. I think that's a big number, important stat to pay attention to. Of course, turnovers. Who wins the turnovers battle? And I think for Jackson State, fam, you got a bigger margin of error. Frankly, I believe. I think it's important for Jackson State to get off to a good start and then try to create some distance. Because when the fourth quarter comes and FAMU's winning, or if they within 7, that pressure gonna get tight for them. We used to them kind of games. We play them games almost every week, and we win them. We don't just play them; we win them. So I think it's really important for them to try to create some distance early and see if they can hold on.
Now, one thing I would agree with that, Kelvin. And the other thing I would add is what Coach Colsey called the hidden yardage. I think it was either in the local press call or the SWAC coach's call. He talked about the hidden yardage. And I guess one question that I haven't seen answered, and I don't know if it will get answered, is that the last 2 games, Michael Smith hasn't participated. Or at least I didn't see him in the participation log from the stats. And I don't remember seeing him watching the game on TV. And he's our kickoff specialist and long field goal specialist. And he puts the ball, it's almost a touchback every time. And last game, we played Alabama State. And I don't know if it was either Cameron Gillis or if it was the freshman Gunnar Trout that was doing the kickoffs, but they weren't all reaching the end zone. That's going to be a key, especially against a returner that Jackson State has. And the same thing on the punting end. I think Gunnar Trout was punting. And I think he actually got the special teams player from the Eddie Jackson 220 QB club based on his performance in the Alabama State game. But if he's punting, that means Trey Wilhoit's not punting. I don't know if he's injured or if either or both are injured, but those are 2 key experienced folks that have strong legs that would really bode well in this game.
One of the things that I looked at, and you guys did an outstanding job. I have nothing to add. I mean, that's great stuff there, and it speaks to why you guys, everybody in the chats, and this is why you come check out the show for the kind of deep dive that Marcus does and Kelvin provides. I like to look at the financial markets. I'm always interested in what the betting markets are saying about games, and this is I'm looking to find value. Going into the season, I mentioned that the analytics and the numbers had FAMU favored in 10 of 12 games preseason. So before the season even started, FAMU was favored in 10 games. The only 2 games that we weren't a favorite in were obviously the 2 FBS games. Going into this game, now, even when I looked at it preseason, FAMU was at least a 3-point favorite on the road coming into this contest before the season even started. As I look at some numbers right now via Massey ratings, FAMU is a 1.5 to 2 point underdog, which I always find interesting. So what do you take from that? When the actual betting lines open up, I will not be surprised to see if Jackson State maybe is a 1 or a 2 point favorite. And it opens the door to feel very confident if you are someone who likes to wager. If you're somebody that wants to get down on FAMU, there's an opportunity. There's a window there to jump on FAMU. But I'm always curious as to, given all the numbers that Kelvin rather that Marcus that you just presented, I am curious as to why the computer data is showing or skewing towards Jackson State as a 1.5, 1 point favorite. Always, just something that I'm interested in, that I pay attention to. Unfortunately, FCS lines don't usually come out until Friday night or Saturday, so you won't really see what the market is doing until then. But the metric, the ratings from the coaches and everything. The coaches are we're ranked 18th in the coaches poll. I think we just entered the top 25 in the stats perform.
Yep, 25.
I think we're the only HBCU in the stats perform, which is the media poll.
Correct.
Right. So we're, as I look at the metrics, we're rated 53, even with a 3-2 record. Jackson State is rated 70th, about middle of the pack among 129 FCS schools. We're ranked 53. So again, there's value. My guy Clay in the chat. Definitely, there's money. There's money coming in on Jack. Basically, if you're always curious about how the numbers move, that means money's coming in on Jackson State. Essentially, if the line preseason was Jackson State being a 2 to 3 point underdog at home, that means money has moved in on Jackson State, and whether it be money in their home state or money in the region that's causing that line to shift, it again brings up value for FAMU. All right, bold prediction time. What do we got? What are we going with? Bold prediction. Who wants to go first?
I'll go.
All right, what do you got?
Jackson is thinking, I believe, that their special teams return person is going to be the difference. I do agree that special teams and probably return game is going to be a difference for somebody. I don't know if they've seen enough and are expecting our return guys to be as dangerous as they are. So I suspect we'll get a few opportunities. So I'm gonna go with a return touchdown for FAMU.
Either kickoff or
either. Yeah.
Either. Okay. We got one last time we played them. Probably should have had two last time.
Yeah.
Yep. Dr. Lori with a good score prediction there. FAMU 30, JSU 10. Ooh, big time. It's a big time beating there. What do you got, Marcus?
From a bold prediction, I'm going to say the tight ends are going to have a field day. We're going to see a return of the tight ends.
Return of the tight ends.
That's a really good one. But what's a field day? That's a really good one. Compared to what their defense do and how they got to defend us, I think that's spot on. But what's a good day?
Better than
I want to say Carter. I want to say Carter Johnson. I want to say both Carter Johnson and Kobe Gross go for at least 75 yards each.
What did they do against South Carolina State?
I don't remember, but that was their coming out party.
Yeah, that's all right. I like it though. So you said over 75 yards each.
Yes.
Any touchdowns?
Yes. 2 touchdowns between them. So I don't know if it's going to be 2. If one is going to catch 2 touchdowns, or basically the split. They're going to have 2 touchdowns.
All right.
Because I think there's going to be so much concentration on Jamari Gassett and the wide receivers. And, if Richardson gets time, if you think of just the number of receivers that he has are available offensive players.
I'm interested to that point, Marcus, the frequency of the blitz. Because obviously I agree, JSU, their coordinator is aggressive. He's been able to be aggressive against some of the teams he's played. There's risk in being too aggressive with Richardson at QB, but there's also risk and maybe more of it not getting pressure to him. Like they can't let him pick him apart. But if he's patient, take what he want, what his defense gives him. That blitzing, because we haven't played too many teams that blitzed us. So if they stay true to form and blitz over 50% of the time, ooh, I like our chances.
I expect both teams to do something different, just because. I mean, all season long, when we see the coaches press conference, it seems like every week Coach Colsey is saying they came out doing something that we didn't expect or that they didn't show on film. So what that tells me is that either we're scouting old film or they're changing up things specifically for the style and the team that we have. So I expect both teams to come out with some wrinkles. And like you're saying, we have some players that made their presence known in the Alabama State game. And I'm thinking that Jackson State, I mean, they know how big this game is. So I think they're going to come out with something that's atypical or a wrinkle that they haven't shown before.
Yeah, we're going to see some trick plays. But remember I said this, guy, this is a Henry's and Joe's game. There's going to be a bonehead coaching decision. Hey, I'm going to say it's going to be a bonehead coaching decision that's going to probably shift the momentum of this game, because they're going to try to make it about X's and O's. This is a Henry's and Joe's game, but somebody going to try to make it an S and O game, and I hope it is not us.
I don't know, Russell. Anybody sound? No one sounded undecided. Anybody sound undecided about FAMU getting a win?
No, we ain't got our predictions. They coming.
Oh, okay. My bold prediction: I'm going Jacoby and Morgan throws 3 interceptions. I'm thinking we go 3 interceptions. I saw who was it? I think Ashley said 2. I'm going 3. I'm saying we get 3 interceptions. We'll probably have 2 in the. I'm saying we'll get 2 in the first half, and then somewhere late in the fourth quarter, we'll get a 3rd.
Well, I watched that Grambling game, and we have a defense that can do some of those similar things. Pretty athletic on defense, so that's not a bad one either. That's possible.
Thank you. Yeah. First thought was 3. Okay. All right. Score predictions. Let's hear them. You guys in the chat. I've seen a couple of you already post your score predictions. Let's go, Kelvin. Score prediction.
I think because Jackson State at home, I also how the game is officiated is pretty important. I think it's going to be I think it's going to be similar to the Alabama State game, frankly, where it's going to be nip and tuck, pretty tight. And for me, that favors FAMU because we just used to those games. We have really strong special teams. We have the better quarterback, and we the champion. So I think we'll win. I'm gonna go 28-24.
28-24 for Kelvin. What do you got, Marcus?
I was
Campbell as well, 28-24.
Yeah, I was gonna say something like 27-21, where we're like sitting on the edge of our seat, either scoring the last touchdown or the defense having to come up big.
What's your score again?
27-21.
27-21. I'm going.
Go ahead. I was just gonna say, now if this game wasn't in the vet, my differential would be much bigger. But because it's in the vet, that's why it's under 10.
I'm going 24-14. Yeah, 24-14. I don't think we, as Kelvin has pointed out, there's very few times that we give up, I want to say 4 touchdowns, 3.
Right.
I mean, that's very rare for us.
Correct.
So I'm gonna ride that trend. 24-14. I see a lot of you guys posting good stuff in here. Appreciate everybody dropping in some score predictions. Okay. All right. Anything left? Again, the game is on ESPNU, 3:30 Eastern time, 2:30 Central. So it'll be 2:30 local time when that game airs. I think it's I think it's Tiffany and Jay.
Mm-hmm.
Tiffany and Jay are calling the game for sure.
Yeah, so we gotta hear Jay.
You don't think Jay's gotten better? You think his dislike or his lack of his he's still in his ways, Marcus? Is that what you're saying?
Jay gonna be Jay.
He's consistent.
Yeah, exactly. He's consistent.
Yeah.
I'll put it like that. Yes, he's consistent.
Hey, Brian, I do want to mention real quick, the West may be decided in the SWAC this week also. I'm saying only if Alcorn wins, because that'll give them the head-to-head over everybody, and they'll be 4-0. So it'll be done played pretty much all the best teams on the West, and they don't have to play us on the East. I won't say that for Southern if they find a way to win, because they still got to play us and some of the tougher teams on the West too. And you know, they don't look good right now.
It's still a tough road for Alcorn's two easiest wins on the West came at the beginning of the SWAC schedule. They still have to play after Southern. They still have to play Bama State. They got to play Texas Southern. They got to go to Prairie View, and they got to play Jackson State.
I didn't hear but two tough teams on that out of that.
Well, I mean, but too tough. But I think there's
Prairie View is in last place. Prairie View is in last place.
I get that, but Prairie View's all right. I know they're in last place after two or three games, but
okay, all right.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it very well could be decided, and yeah, that would be interesting. That it'd pretty much be theoretically it'd be in their hands, and that if they were to somehow be up 4-0,
they would have lose two
somehow
games.
it'd have to be a heck of a collapse at the end for them. They'd have to lose two games.
Maybe
somewhere.
three, because Southern got to play us. If they beat Southern got to come right back and play us the next week. So now they out of it because they coming to brag.
And just one other point of context, because I'm looking up something. The charts that I did, I only did it for the offensive side, and I'm just trying to do the defensive side now. And I'm looking at our numbers from last year. We gave up 94 yards per game rushing, 166 yards per game passing. So total defense is like 268 for the whole year, all 13 games. And so we got to put that in context, like Kelvin mentioned earlier. We see our defense isn't looking as good as last year or years past. We had a top 2 defense giving up under 300 yards a game at the Division I level. So we have to kind of put that in perspective. Like, even myself, I'm like, man. Yeah. But I mean, those numbers are virtually, those numbers are elite. So we got to put it in perspective. And Kelvin mentioned the strength of schedule of teams that we played: 2 FBS, up-and-coming Norfolk, and a South Carolina State team that now looks like is rounding into form under a first-year coach and transfer quarterback who came in much heralded. So, we got to put all that in perspective.
All right. It is a big weekend on the schedule across the HBCU landscape. This is one of several intriguing, interesting games. Kelvin already mentioned the Alcorn Southern game, which is a homecoming game for Southern. Howard is hosting Tennessee State. North Carolina A&T is hosting Hampton. Two intriguing, interesting games. Some real interesting games on the Division II level in the CIAA and the SIAC. So this is the first real big weekend of college football for not only just on the non-HBCU level, but if you just stay in our HBCU lane, I mean, there's 7 or 8 games really, and they start at 1 and go all the way through the day. So plenty of opportunities to watch some of those games and stream some of those, and I mean, it should be good TV, good theater. I got to take a second here to pivot from football to talk about our good friend of the program, Coach Gokhan Yilmaz, and our volleyball team, who took care of business on Sunday and Monday, winning 3-0 versus Southern and 3-0 versus Alcorn, which brings the winning streak to what, Kelvin? What's the number? Where are we at now? I feel like
in the SWAC we 8-0,
well,
right?
just in terms of the winning streak, the match winning streak.
Oh,
or the game winning streak,
Let's see, I gotta pull that up.
6-0. I think we won six games in a row in the SWAC. That's 18. And then we won the last game before the SWAC. So that'd be 19. Right? Somebody check me on that. While Kevin's looking at that, Coach Gokhan won his 100th win as the head coach at Florida A&M after the Rattlers swept Alcorn 3-0. FAMU improved to a record of 15-5 overall, 7-0 in SWAC play, and still no losses in Lawson. Have not lost a game in the Lawson Center. So if you follow us on Instagram, you've seen the photo AD Drew took for us of Coach Gokhan with the ball. Obviously, FAMU Athletics has a good photo of not only Coach with the team, but a great graphic. So, congratulations to Coach Gokhan and the team. I did see that today, Brooklyn Watts, I don't want to say it too fast because we got a couple of Brooklyns and a Brooklyn. Brooklyn Watts and Alexandra Kolova earned SWAC Offensive Player of the Year, the third time this season that Watts has earned the honor, and Kolova received her 4th Setter of the Week honor from the SWAC. Watts recorded a team-high 29 kills. Posted a double-double versus Bethune-Cookman on 12 kills and 10 digs. Added 12 kills and 5 digs against Southern. She only appeared in 1 set versus Alcorn and had 5 kills, 3 digs, and an ace. The 18 digs recorded against the 3 matches was the second best on the team. Kolova recorded 54 assists, highlighted by 32 in 3 sets of play versus Bethune-Cookman. She also finished the week with 11 digs and 4 kills. So, congratulations, Brooklyn and Alexandra. Yeah. You got that streak number. What is that number? 7-3. So actually, it's higher than that. It should be like 22.
Well, are we? What we talking SWAC games?
No, just because Well, but what was the match before the first SWAC game? What was the record on that?
You mean for this year or last year? Because remember we lost the SWAC championship game. I'm trying to figure out where I'm starting from.
I'm mentioning the consecutive games that we have won. We have swept every game in the SWAC since the Jackson State one, correct?
No, we won 6 games in a row going into the SWAC championship last year.
No. We're not talking about last year. Forget last year. We're talking right now, currently. What streak are we on?
We're what you mean? 7-0?
Games within the sets.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6, 18.
Okay.
And then the last game 8-19.
19. Okay, that's where I was trying to get to. Okay, yeah, 19. So a 19 in a row streak is where we're at. All right. The Lady Rattlers travel to Prairie View. When is that game? When is that match? That match
6 o'clock.
is
6 o'clock Eastern time.
Friday.
Yep.
In Prairie View. So our Houston / Texas Rattlers, you know, I know you guys show up, and it'll be a great opportunity for you to get to that game. That's 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 Central. And then on Saturday, we take on Texas Southern at 2 o'clock Eastern, 1 Central. And Texas Southern is located in Houston.
Sunday.
Prairie View. I'm sorry, what did I say? Saturday? Sunday.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, Sunday. So Friday against Prairie View, Sunday against Texas Southern. And then next Wednesday, the team travels to Jacksonville to take on the University of North Florida in a non-conference game.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Good stuff. All right. Well, gentlemen, I think we have said it all. We've done it all. Been a loaded show. You know, I think I'm working on, I was talking to Keith, Things Up podcast about this. I know the Orlando Rattlers are hosting a watch party. And I would encourage anybody, you know, whether I've seen this from a lot of the alumni groups on social media, and I've been trying to flash those on the stories, Instagram stories, to let people know. But if your alumni chapter is having a watch party, don't, as much as you may find it fun to sit at home and watch this game on TV, I'm going to encourage you to get out the house, go be around some other Rattlers. I'm going to try to, normally I like to sit on my couch on Saturdays if I can't be at the stadium, but I think I'm going to venture out the house. I'm going to venture out. I'm going to try to connect with the Orlando Rattlers. I'm going to try to be at this, at the event where they are, and, you know, kind of, and see what it is, see what we do, and watch this game with some fellow Rattlers and try to have fun. Maybe I'll do, it depends on Keith. We'll try to do a pre-show, 2 o'clock Eastern, 1 Central. Hopefully we can dial in Kelvin. Kelvin will be on site, so maybe we can get Kelvin in on site. Marcus, not really sure what your plans are, but if you're open and available around 2 o'clock, just letting you know, that's what we're trying to do, and we'll see. We'll see what we can do. So,
all right,
you guys pay attention. Yeah, Clay said, good stuff here. The DFW Dallas Fort Worth alumni having a watch party. So, if any of the watch parties, if you see your alumni chapter having a watch party, just tag at ONG StrikeZone on Instagram or X. That way I can try to retweet that out and let people know what's going on. Final words, final thoughts there, Marcus.
Well, this is where the rubber meets the road. We talked about it earlier in the preseason. I don't remember my prediction, but I want to say that I wasn't sure if we were going to pull one of them out between the two home games, between the two away games. We already got the one win in Montgomery, so let's go 2-0.
All right. What do you got, Kelvin? Final thoughts.
Florida A&M Athletics, where we have champions every year. It's been an awesome start to the season. The expectation, we are where we expected to be at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And the expectation is that we'll still be at that point at the end of this game. I'm so happy to hear that those JSU folks and prognosticators think so lowly of our defensive line and our run defense. And I'm sure our defensive coaches and our defensive players are taking notes of that. And I can't wait to see the results about 6 o'clock Eastern time, Central time, Saturday. But I'm feeling good. I'm excited. Looking forward to a great game.
FAMU by 40. I just had to throw that out there. I've never been more excited than the kickoff of last season, the way we opened it. So I would love to see us come and really get a good opening drive, punch Jackson State in the mouth right from the get-go. So that's my wish. That's my wish. Don't know if it'll happen, but that's what I'd love to see from an opening drive. So we wish Coach Colsey and the team safe travels to Jackson. Any Rattlers that are heading to Jackson, be safe on your travels, wherever you're heading to, however you're getting there by plane, train, or automobile. Be safe going to Jackson to and from, and let's be our best in all phases of the game. That's what we really want to see against Jackson State.
Dominate. Show them why we champions. Show them why we champions. We are champions.
We want to thank Coach Brittany Beall for joining us in hour number 1. Thank you, Coach Garfield Ellenwood, as well, for joining us. Don't forget the SWAC cross-country meet is Monday. 10 o'clock is when the women start, so be there early. And also want to thank Coach Preston Mike Rice for joining us as well, giving us a heads up on the golf program. Special thanks to Doc Holliday Charles Bishop as well for joining us. Great stuff, giving us that JSU perspective. You know, sometimes I know you guys in the chat are always like, why we got him on? Why are you bringing him on? You know, I always like to give us that different perspective. Sometimes we get tunnel focused on us. We need to see sometimes what the other people are saying and thinking about us. And just sometimes we need to get a perspective on the other team from people who follow the other team, because we don't follow the other team. We follow our team. So sometimes we got to hear what the other people are doing and how they think. So that's why we bring on other folks. So just to give a different perspective. Thanks to Dr. Lori in there. Hopefully the chat rooms weren't ridiculous. Seems like, I don't know. Hopefully no one got blocked.
It looked like it was a well, you know. Doc didn't ring the alarm, so I don't know if she just clipped them. She was patient, but
or you know, or maybe those people are just blocked anyway, so we can comment and hear from them.
There she go. She just clipped them.
Did she really? She put tip what? All right.
Tough. It's tough up in there.
Tough in the room, boy. All right. Well, damn. I was like, it was mild. Why did it get so quiet and mild? But anyway, you all can donate to the show if you like. You can drop a Cash App there. Every little bit helps us continue to try to keep moving this program forward and do more things. You can also leave a super chat if you're watching on MyJBN Online We certainly appreciate it. And however you watch us, you consume us, Facebook, YouTube, maybe it's the BCSN Pod Zone where you can download the podcast on all the shows on the Black College Sports Network. We say thank you and simply ask you one thing. Share the show with 3 members of the FAMU League. 3 people. And it'll help us continue to grow and move forward. So things up. And let's make sure that when we head to Jackson, that we strike, and strike again. Peace out, Rattler Nation. Beat JSU. Beat JSU. Beat JSU. Beat JSU. Beat JSU. Beat JSU. All right. Peace out.
Oh,